It's time to shine again.
I'm putting him on the spot here. Will they make a bet? Oh, he's getting twitchy. That's the corkscrew right there, ladies and gentlemen. But we've seen some real howlers at the start of these races. Cold tires, everything that's been going against them. Dave hot on the tail of Jimmy, but it looks like the green machine is holding strong.
2 captains, 2 teams, 1 championship.
He's doing it actually. Oh, Dave! Dave's had a howler. That's not what he wanted.
Let the battle begin. Welcome to Clash of Racers 2.
You wanted it, you got it. After a massive successful first iteration, we are bringing it back to you in Clash of Racers 2. Now this time around, I'm your host, Indiana Frostgreenback, and I am getting the band back together because I'm not here just for all the action. So let's go ahead and check in on our caster, Renee Butler. Renee, how are you doing?
I'm doing super well over here. I got a huge desk and amazing races in front of me. 4 different racing titles, many qualification games, so it will be an exciting evening and I can't wait to kick this one off.
Now you already talked about how there's 4 different titles that we'll be doing. What are you looking forward to most? Is there a title that really grabs your eye, one that you specialize in?
Can I just say, I really love the qualification games, so I'm totally fine with any of the racing games we do today, but the qualification games, there will be the ones where I probably lie under the desk laughing.
Yeah, we've already tried some of those in rehearsals and it didn't go so hot, so hopefully it goes better for the live show. But of course, Renee, you're not the only familiar face that's joining us. It's also going to be Tom. And Tom, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
It has been a hot minute. How are you, Tom? You're actually a veteran of Clash of Racers.
Yes, a veteran that one time before. I am happy to be back again. I am super pumped to have more trash talk than there was in the first iteration. And you know what? It's great to see you, Indiana, representing in the Overtake studio.
Yeah, you were actually a host last time around, and I'm so glad that you already talked about all the trash talk. I was just going to ask you, is there something in specific that you're really looking forward to this time around? Is it more of that trash talk? Is it a specific title we just heard from Renee?
It's probably working with Renee for the first time because he mentioned he couldn't wait to work with everyone else except me. But that's the sort of level of banter that I'm looking forward to.
Perfect. Now, since we have our Clash of Racers expert Tom with us, we're actually going to go ahead and get everyone else up to speed by taking a look at the format.
8 top-class racers competing in 4 games with 2 famous captains. Yes, we're talking about the 2nd edition of Clash of Racers. Our show is divided into 2 parts. 4 qualifying challenges played by our captains and 4 races for our 8 racers. Each challenge, and we have 4 of them, has an important impact on the starting grid. So captains, be aware. You can make your team's life way easier in the 4 races. You want to know what awaits our captains? Check this out. 2 incredibly difficult tracks in Mario Kart home circuit. An actual carrera track with tough tasks. Don't drink and drive. Oven gloves. This is just the start. Oh, and don't forget about Auto Ball, or should we say, real life Rocket League. The captains will definitely sweat for their team. Every challenge victory helps their team on the starting grid. F1 2020, Assetto Corsa Competizione, Trackmania and iRacing are the disciplines. The 8 drivers divided into 2 teams to gain the crucial points to win the trophy and Clash of Racers. It's not all about winning, but also about teamwork. Only one team can win in the end, and of course, it's the team with the most points. Clash of Racers 2 will require all their skills in body and mind. Let the race begin.
Now, reminder, guys, that you can get involved in all the action over at Twitter at overtake_GG. Also, be sure to check out our homepage, overtake.gg themselves. And you can follow us on Twitch and YouTube. Again, that underscore super important. Overtake_GG. Now, it's a mixture of sim, arcade racers, and kind of everything in between, especially with those challenges. Tom, you already talked about the qualifying challenges. What about these games? Are you a big Trackmania fan? I know you do a lot of F1 2020. Is it iRacing that you're looking forward to?
Sorry, by the way, this is just my thinking face. I have to hold my chin when I'm thinking. Yes, of course, hosting the F1 Esports series for the last 4 years. But as you know, Indiana, from when we do Nitro Nights, I love a bit of Trackmania. I like watching it, not playing in it, as you will know from looking at the leaderboard that you host as well.
137. It's nothing to be ashamed about, Tom. You're still working on that one. Now, do you have any? I know, right? Do you have any tips that you want to give to our two captains before we introduce them? You participated in the first Clash of Racers. Anything that you think they really need to know before going into today?
Definitely nothing that they need to know other than just to be themselves. These are super duper captains. Can't wait for it. Now, I don't want to give too much away who I'm rooting and supporting. Does this give too much away today?
No, I think you're perfect. Yes, a distinguished gentleman with your thinking face and your red team. Now, thank you so much, Tom. I know that we'll be hearing from you throughout the day. You're going to be interviewing all of our racers and our drivers, but it's now time to meet our two captains. You saw them introduced on Twitter, so let's go ahead and actually check out the video.
Clash of Racers is about two teams fighting for victory and honour, and every team needs a leader to guide it into battle. Here are our captains, who will follow in the footsteps of Kevin and Max Benneker. Sjokz, captain of the red team. The 33-year-old esports host from Bruges, Belgium, is probably the face of the LEC, Europe's highest League of Legends championship at the moment. Her competence, professionality, adaptivity and humour are the traits that made her Esports Host of the Year at the Esports Awards 2020.
You know, it's funny because I wasn't even able to go on any bikini holidays this year to campaign for this thanks to COVID, so I guess it's like a double miracle that I won. Just kidding.
With her famous dolphin imitation, Team Red already has the war scream it needs to race without fear. He's a strategic mastermind, always one step ahead of his opponent. Meet YamatoCannon, captain of the green team. He comes from Sweden, and he made a name for himself in the League of Legends community as a genius head coach. He trained teams like Roccat, Splice, and Team Vitality, to then become the first ever Western head coach in Korea's highest league, the LCK. Now he is back in Europe to guide and instruct the legendary franchise Fnatic to victory in the upcoming season. Besides his passion for esports, shiny Pokemon trading cards bring out the emotions on the normally serene Scandinavian.
Oh yes! Yes!
See, YamatoCannon's passion has no limits. Be aware, Red Team, this guy knows how to string together a winning team.
I have so many questions. Whoever puts those videos together should just be a private investigator, because I've known you guys for years and I still learned a lot in those videos. How are you? Welcome to the studio. Welcome to the set.
I mean, really good. I think, first of all, it's just nice to see you both and, you know, off with the niceties now, because, of course, we're going to beat you very hard and very handily.
Wow.
Today, YamatoCannon.
Already out the gate with the trash talk. Yamato? Response?
I think it's plain and simple. You need support from Tom. He had the red shirt.
I did.
You know, go green matches my eyes. It's a match made in heaven. You have no chance.
I mean, in that video, I noticed that they whipped out the thesaurus rather to make it sound impressive. You know, genius drafting here and there. And then when it came to Korea, they just said, the first Western coach to go to Korea, because, you know, there wasn't really that much to write about aside from that.
Okay, we can put the claws away. I have kind of one final question before we actually meet our real racers. Do either of you drive?
No.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So let's go ahead and actually meet people who can drive. We've got 4 different categories of our racers with us today. First up, it's our Stream Wars.
YouTube versus Twitch. I'm coming for your lunch versus Fight Me. This stream war had to be coming. First up is Somalia's pride, Jimmy Broadbent. This legendary shed dweller usually needs no introduction, as he's one of the most beloved content creators out there. He's a jack of all trades and showed his skill in many games like ACC and F1 2020. Old Jimmer will show everyone what it means to be YouTube's sim racer #1. Of course, only if he's still not stuck in GT licensing tests, that is. Twitch streamer Cyanide simply labels himself as the car guy, but he becomes a speed demon on track. Whether he is nailing it behind the wheel, analysing replays, or just playing for fun, he is always up for a witty one-liner. His 2 dogs are always with him, and sometimes they even hop in the cockpit. Let's see what Cyanide can do with his mascot power today.
And already out the gate with some big heavy hitters and massive names right there. Now, who got who? Who took Jimmy Broadbent? Who took Cyanide?
I didn't take Cyanide, otherwise I wouldn't be here. But he's on my team.
Correction.
He's on my team, and I'm super excited. The fact that he is not only good at playing the games himself, but also analyzes pro replays and replays from Formula 1, it just means that he'll look at the game a different way. And I think that's an element you can really use in a team, in a competition like this.
Sjokz picking up a coach and a racer. Now,
yeah.
Yamato, that does mean that you have Jimmy Broadbent. It did mention that ACC, one of his titles, it's one of the titles we'll be racing today. Give me the lowdown on what you're feeling with Jimmy.
You know, on my end, it was a natural choice to actually grab a player because as a coach, I know what players can do, what I can't do because I have no hands. And that's why we're coaching, I think.
We're not very good at the actual racing, true.
Cyanide, so Jimmy, he is a practical man.
Yeah.
He, in the name.
I have to say, I was like, his clips was really impressive. I mean, nothing against my guy as well, but I think it's going to be a good matchup.
Everything against your guy.
Everything against my guy. It's going to be a good matchup. Also, Cyanide is a dog lover, so... right there.
There we go. Dog lover indeed. Now, we also have our community heroes, so let's meet them.
These drivers are no gladiators, but when they emerge victorious, the masses also cheer. Here come the community heroes. As everybody in the world knows, the Netherlands only produce top-tiered Formula 1 drivers, which is why Maxime also rocks a lot of F1 2020 on her social channels. And to be honest, anyone who gifts their siblings a PS5 for graduation can't be that bad to have on your team. Next up is rAiii, who is part of the beloved German gaming group Die Pixelhelden, which translated means the Pixel Heroes. And this super fast superhero is a true all-rounder on track, as he plays everything from arcade titles to hardcore sims like ACC. The way he interacts with his community is also quite unique and ensures extraordinary moments.
Okay, so who took Max, who took rAiii?
I've got
mine.
rAiii. Yeah, I'm a bit jealous because I know Maxime very well. She's really, really awesome, and she's from, from the Netherlands as well. My neighboring country to Belgium, of course. I'm a bit jealous, but I think rAiii is also gonna be worth the pick for sure.
You're just hyping up my team.
Yeah, I'm doing your work for you. Why am I doing this? I have too much respect for my competitor.
I'm hoping I'm going to get a PS5.
That's actually
That's how you get invited to my team.
That's how we do that.
Have you come to graduation? Is that why they bought the PS5?
I will never go back to school. So that's.
I love how it's called the community heroes. It's kind of like you think, oh, is this because they're like not as good and they're more just loved by the community? But I think it's actually both because they're both also really good racers, and on top of that, they've got a loving community. So it's
when I was going down the list, I was like, there are so many fast racers on this. It doesn't look like anyone got a free ride. So lucky for you guys.
Yeah, the double whammy.
Now, we are going to now take a look at our super heavy hitters. It's our overtake experts. So let's meet some of our fastest racers.
An event like Clash of Racers without overtakes darlings isn't really a competition, right? So get ready for Emily Jones. Our first ever Hero of the Month brings the full sporting package. Driving hard but fair is her thing, and she shows that regularly on our Overtake stream team. As a Gran Turismo World Tour Finals contender, she's got what it takes to make her team proud. Jardier. Next up is Mr. Overtake ACC tutorial himself. Just look at him. Isn't he adorable? The gentleman racer is a true role model of the sim racing scene. He even drove a real Lambo. So you better watch out, because this guy is speed and passion in perfect harmony.
Congratulations to our Overtake experts. Now, who got who? Did you take Emily? Did you take Jardier?
I got Jardier. In
And
the
so-
interview
I got
process,
Emily, yeah.
pretty straightforward. He smiled at me and I was like, man, I'm tired.
Just the eye contact, the magical moment as you came together.
Just imagine as he overtakes you and he just smiles at you. Just,
You're like, ching.
Another ACC legends themselves on Yamato's team. Now, Sjokz with Emily. She does have a tendency to really push the car to the limits, try to drive very fast.
I like it. You know what? I like it all. It's similarly to how I approach when I play racing games.
we know.
It does say that she, yeah, we've had a little bit of a rehearsal where I showed some of my
Speed?
My speed. You know, you'll see later probably. But yeah, Emily, really amazing. Yeah, she says she pushes, but she's fair. But then sometimes she isn't, and she just absolutely overtakes. So that's what I'm looking for. A bit of spice, a bit of explosiveness in her racing. Can't wait to see it.
I'm sure we're going to get a lot of explosiveness today.
Yes.
Now, we also have our hardware gurus to round out our team, so let's meet our experts.
Every racing team needs a hardware expert, so choose wisely. Dave Gaming. The German sim racing expert is a veteran of the first Clash of Racers. He regularly shares his racing expertise to a larger audience on his channel and does hardware reviews for Overtake as well. With his red hair, Dave will rush around the circuit like a fireball. GamerMuscle. Along comes the muscle himself, James GamerMuscle West. He knows pretty much everything about simulation games hardware and can't even stop himself from hunting a lap time when flying a plane. So get your lighters out, everybody.
It's a day go with the day wheel, all the Newton meters, maximum Newton meters.
Now, of course, I'm a
Amazing.
bit biased because I got to interview GamerMuscle just a couple of weeks ago. He helped me outfit my own rig by giving me some great tips on what hardware I wanted. Who got GamerMuscle?
I got GamerMuscle.
Oh, already lucky. And that, of course, means, Sjokz, that you have Dave Gaming.
Yeah, I don't think that's so unlucky, Frosker, and a little bit of bias there from our moderator.
I called it. I said it.
No, yeah, excited to have Dave on the team. I think it's important for a team to have like all the components, and we have someone who's also good at analyzing and at the tactical aspects. We have professional racers, and then we have someone who's a great racer, but also knows what the best gear is. So this is a total package on Team Red, Yamato.
You know, my end, I know what I don't know. And coming into today, I knew that I know nothing. And Mr. GamerMuscle knows a lot.
He knows a lot, yeah.
So what did you guys, because we'll pull up the full teams in a second here. What did you guys as captains really prepare for today? Like, were you watching the VODs? Were you doing push-ups?
I looked at everyone's Twitter profile to see what they were like good at and what, you know, made them tick.
Taking notes?
Taking notes. I watched the videos that we were going to play in the show a couple times and took notes. I don't know if it helped, so I'm really looking forward to the part later where we get to talk to them and ask them all the questions we're going to need to make our team, because we don't know much. Is that a spoiler? I'm sorry.
Honesty, Yamato, as a coach now of Fnatic, how do you want to drive your team to victory?
Preparation, like I got my shoes on.
Okay.
Socks,
He also
pants.
bought his pants. That's
Yes,
also
yes.
key.
Shirt, t-shirt. I'm gonna act on instinct because cars are natural. And I think instincts are natural, they go hand in hand.
Yeah, the game. I have to say, in the sock game, I have you beat, though, because I actually am wearing the Clash of Racers socks.
I'm dealing
That is
with
true.
a couple of Muppets right now on the screen behind us. You can go ahead and see the complete team. And as I was going over it, I was like, wow, these are actually really well-rounded. You got a couple of heavy hitters, a lot of holistic variety streamers. And again, that's super important because this is effectively the triathlon of racing. We'll be racing in 4 different titles. So you can't just have hardcore sim racers on
Yeah, that's what I found was really interesting. And I'm also wondering kind of how good, is it better to be really good at, let's say, Trackmania and make sure that you have that one locked up? But that's not enough. You also need people that know a bit of everything, because it isn't just the same. You can't just plug and play into every one of these games and just be as good, because it all takes different skills and different ways to play the games. So it's important that you have kind of jacks of all trades as well as the specialized drivers.
I've got the pro tip for you, Sjokz. Emily Jones currently holds the #1 fastest record for our Trackmania course. So there you go. Boom. That one's for free.
Thank you. What's
I get a pro
freebie?
tip?
You got a lot of ACC guys on your team. Can you say Assetto Corsa Competizione?
Assetto Corsa
I just kind of rolled
Competizione.
together in there.
Was I close?
Yeah, sure. So, do you guys play any racing games?
It's been a while. I haven't actually for a long time, but I've been wanting to get into it, especially this year, because there are so many good racing games, in fact, and I'm also quite interested casually in Formula One itself. So that game, Formula One 2020, would probably be really interesting, but I'm really using this as a testing course to see what games appease to me the most, and then I'm going to try them out.
Well,
Does Crash Team Racing count?
that one will have to count.
All right. I throw bananas and bombs.
We're going to go ahead and take a look at the Formula One racing game. It will be the first one that we'll be looking at today.
The latest part of the official Formula One video game series has excited fans and turned many heads in the process. F1 2020 is another step towards the ultimate F1 gaming experience. With updated rosters and many changes to the way the cars drive, the game has received a lot of positive publicity. Graphically, F1 2020 is a gem as well. The driver can almost fully immerse in the gameplay and has to be careful not to forget they are playing the game and not watching a real race. With the F1 Esports Pro Series, F1 2020 is continuing the most successful esports tournament to date. With millions of views on YouTube and thousands of live viewers, F1 2020 might possibly be the best gateway for esports racing in the future. Given the growth of the F1 gaming franchise, the success of F1 2020 is no surprise, but rather a logical coincidence. Nevertheless, it is still a treat to play.
So I'm going to help you guys out. So under the umbrella of esports racing, you have your hardcore sim racers, which F1 2020 would fall into. You then have your simcade, which is kind of a mixture between an arcade racer where it's third-person view, but it kind of has more in-depth physics. And then you have your arcade racers, which would be like your Crash Bandicoots, your Mario Karts. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does.
Yeah, that's the full spectrum there.
Yeah, I have to say again in this video, I think I definitely want to try F1 2020 out specifically. I think especially in this year, it's just also become even more popular because you do get that real-time feel, almost like you're actually at the tracks watching the race or racing there yourself. And I think we all need to escape a little bit in 2020, so that's perfect.
Yeah, sim racing actually had a massive explosion recently because obviously with a lot of the real-life races being canceled due to the global pandemic, there was a huge spotlight on sim racing. And you even have hybrid drivers that will race in the actual races and then also race in the sim themselves.
Yeah, Lando Norris, I think, got the podium in both the digital experience as well as really cool.
So transfers between?
Well, no, it's like
skill?
separate, but you could compete in both. Like,
Yeah.
Really?
Of course. I mean,
Typically, the sim racers are faster in the sim
Okay.
because obviously there's less.
No.
There's not a lot of danger there. You can really
I see.
you can really go for it. Yeah.
step on the pedal.
No, super excited for this first one.
Technology.
Really.
I know, right?
Who on my team would be the best? Theoretically speaking, on this one.
Well, we actually have some players that you can ask. So let's go ahead. I've got my captains here. Now we're actually going to have a quick pre-match interview to help them get a grip on everything and plan their grid layout. I believe I have two racers standing by. Who we got? Perfect. Can you guys hear us?
Yes. Yep.
Hello.
Gotcha.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
I'm good. I just had some food and now I'm ready to beat some of these guys. So
Nice preparation. Yes.
I could use a bite, but yeah, otherwise not too bad.
So, rAiii and Maxime, thank you so much for joining us. Yamato, Sjokz, is there anything that you would like to ask your drivers? You're trying to plan out your grid as your team captains. Who's going to start where? I believe you get to pick first, second, and then third and fourth.
Yeah, I'd love to know. So
Can I go first or you go first?
Okay, you can go first. I mean, normally it's ladies first, but whatever. It's 2020. Throw it on its head. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
I thought we'd be competing for time in this interview, so
do
I'm
we
just
need to
going to
flip?
hop in.
Sjokz, you can go first. What would
No,
you
I don't want to go first. I want to scope out the competition.
Okay. So, Maxime, I know nothing. So just tell me what the plan should be, and we will go with that. That is my executive decision.
We're gonna go. Oh no, never mind. We have 7-8. It just keeps going. I'm like, I thought it ended at
I mean, it's kind of logical, but I guess it's good that we then all say it. But it also depends on entirely. Like, I mean, Cyanide, I like that maybe the team has confidence in me, but I don't think you should count on me getting the pole position. Just saying.
We plan for the best, and we'll have a plan ready for the worst as well, and we'll be okay. We'll cover ourselves off for every inevitability.
Yeah, this is great. Yeah. And also we're just, we're pretending, right? We're actually super strong.
It's a hustle. It's a hustle. It's a complete hustle.
I feel that confidence. Yamato, 7-8.
On my end, 7-8. I'll just continue in the same trend and let Maxime decide everything.
You forgot who were the last people on your team, didn't you?
Like, I wasn't really sure about it. Is this our prediction, or if we win the 1v1 battle, this will be the grid lineup?
That's it, yeah.
Okay, then we need to change a little bit. Then I want to put Emily on P3, Sai on P4, and Dave on P7 and rAiii on P8.
Yeah, so if you would get first, my team would then be like that. I mean, you would put my team there.
Wait, so if I win, I get to choose everything?
Yeah, everything.
Everything.
That's the grand prize.
Now it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah,
Forgive me.
exactly.
Whatever happens,
there are 4
whatever
racers
happens,
per each team.
Yes, as well as there's a 50.
Whatever happens for Team Red, we got to make sure that Maxime is lost. If we win, we have to make sure Maxime is put dead lost, because she's the scary one when it comes to F1 2020. On their team, she's scary. So, we increase the possibility she gets taken out by an accident somewhere along the way if she starts all the way at the back.
Okay, so let's think. So, Cyanide, just so we have it all clear, so I don't make any mistakes, if by some miracle I win and get the pole position and get to choose, for our team, we go Dave and rAiii.
Yeah.
Then we go Jimmy and
Jardier.
Jimmy and Jardier. Then we go Emily before you.
Yeah.
Right?
And GamerMuscle 7.
Okay, good. Got it. Got the plan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And,
there you are. No problem.
And hold on. This is a lot to remember. Maxime, please repeat everything for me.
Okay.
This is
Jimmy and Maxime.
Yes.
For number 1 and 2. Dave. Oh no. Emily and Sai, 3 and 4.
Okay.
Then we have Jardier and GamerMuscle, 5 and 6.
Okay.
And Dave and rAiii on 7 and 8.
Okay.
So basically, close to inverse. There's a couple of differences.
Yeah. We got it.
Production, did you get that?
Did we get it?
I hope. Yeah, write it down, please.
I've got the heads up from production. Don't worry, guys. We'll pull up the grid.
Oh, yes, we've written it down. Nice.
I know, right? Thank God. Thank you so much, Cyanide and Max, for hard carrying our captains today. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck in all of your races.
I believe in you.
Yeah, so while you guys get warmed up, as soon as we have the grid, we'll get that going.
Yeah.
And reminder, guys, that to get the grid that you want, that you've now just spent all of your time planning and preparing for, you have to win the qualifier.
Exactly. We'll see about that. I mean, we'll see. Yes. We got to do a little bit of practice. Of course, I don't want to spoil anything. You'll see later what the first kind of one is. I am very happy talking to my team. I'm feeling very confident. Cyanide's great, even though I called him by the wrong name at the beginning. He said, it's no problem,
you let
Captain.
It roll off. It's all
for the team. That's what you need, the team players.
Yep. On my end, I'm happy. I don't have confidence in myself, but I am so confident in my team that no matter what will happen in my driving, I'll be good.
Hey, Maxime was so confident. That's the way I know her as well. She doesn't take some word I can't say from anyone. I love it.
Well, that's been all from our captains here. Now, we're going to determine which grid we're going to go for, which means we have our qualifiers. Now, do not worry, guys, because we have all the explanations for the qualifiers. Let's go ahead and look at them.
To qualify for F1 2020, you've first got to show how good you are at driving cars in reality. And we mean Carrera cars, of course. For this, we prepared a track for our captains on which they'll drive with the notorious Audi DTM. But in this challenge, it isn't only about who is fastest, because the winner of each race gets a handicap for the next one. Who has more skill and the better instinct? At first, the captains drive a regular old race. The winner, however, has to wear oven gloves in the next race, testing their driving skills with barely movable hands. If the racer without gloves wins the next race, they also get to wear those beautiful things, making it fair and square once again. Once one of them has won another race in the gloves, the winner trades them for blurred vision glasses. The racer that manages to win with these glasses on has 3 points and emerges victorious. As Carrera Car champion, they earned the top spots for F1 2020.
Okay, so for our first qualifier, we're going very old school here. Now, we have tested this one in rehearsals. Just a very quick reminder, though, so you guys make sure that it works. It's going to go like this. There's 3 different rounds. There's 3 laps in each round. The winner of the first round, so the first person to complete 3 laps, will then have to wear oven mitts. Then the winner of that round will then also have to wear the blinding glasses. You need to win all 3 to qualify and get your grid on the board. Does that make sense?
Yes. I mean, we know the rules, but we each flew off the track like 7 times in rehearsal.
Yeah, I think I need like a helmet, some
We're going to get
goggles.
that number down for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Some mittens here you can use.
I know, I actually may need them. Okay, Yamato, Sjokz, take your starting positions. Okay, good stance here. And 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, Yamato out to an early start. Oh, nobody crashes. Sjokz now, this should be... No!
Yo!
Okay.
Wait a minute.
I spoke way too soon. They're both back onto the track. Okay, Sjokz still has the lead, and Yamato is off again. Sjokz completing 1 lap, and then also messes herself up. Yamato now finally about to complete his first lap. Sjokz still has about half the course lead on him, though. Now taking it really slow. She's learned from her mistakes. Yamato, you got a lot of ground to catch. Now we're both on lap number 2. Sjokz coming up into her final lap. Can she get it? She's entering the final lap. Yamato just now coming through the straightaway. He's also on lap 3. Sjokz taking this one very slow. Yamato is really starting to close the gap. Will he open it up? No! Sjokz wins.
That was so loud. Sorry, people at home. I apologize.
Now, of course, this means that Sjokz now must race the next race with the oven mitts. This does not mean that Yamato is out. However, if he wins this next race, he will then move on to the oven mitt round themselves. So let's get our cars back.
Am I allowed to touch him?
Oh, interference.
Interference. Hang on. I don't think I've ever worn oven mitts, so, you know.
Okay.
Hang on.
Are you, do you need to stretch? You need to figure out the technique here?
I think I got it.
Okay, reminder, guys, that Sjokz is the orange car, Yamato is the green car. Okay, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go. Okay, Yamato off to an early start. Sjokz just behind him, hasn't quite taken the overtake, has the inside turn, and now Sjokz overtakes him. Yamato trying to catch up, but he goes way too fast off the course. Yamato is actually choking today. Sjokz now in lap number 2 as Yamato's finally finishing his 2nd lap. This looks like it is free for Sjokz here. She just needs to keep it on the course, entering the final lap in lap 3 as Yamato is starting to close the distance. Sjokz just needs to take it slow. Yamato trying to pass it at the very end, and no! Doesn't get it. Sjokz 2-0 over Yamato. She now moves on to
both? I'm wearing the oven mittens and the glasses?
And the glasses. How's it look?
God. What the?
Yamato, what is happening? Can I get the...
Oh, I lost my wing. The speed is all in there. Everyone knows that.
No aerodynamics for you today. Sjokz?
You just took
One
it away.
sec.
I don't get to
Okay, I think, okay, through one eye, maybe.
Sjokz?
Yeah. Who? Where? What?
Okay, are you good?
I'm fine.
Okay, perfect.
Reverse sweep, Sjokz. Can you feel it?
No, let me make a quick
Reverse sweep.
speech.
Reverse sweep.
Just kidding.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Reminder, guys, that this could potentially be our last round unless Yamato makes a victory turn here. Sjokz is blind, but Yamato is... Oh, he didn't even pass her in the first round. Yamato is playing way too safe, and he's off the course again. Oh, no. Sjokz now entering off of lap 2. Yamato crashes again. It is free, Sjokz. She's now entering the last lap. Yamato has dropped the controller here. Boom.
Yay!
3-0'd. You just gave FPX the G2 treatment.
High five to myself.
This does mean that it's Sjokz grid that will be the qualifier. I don't know.
I forgot mine, so that's good.
I apologize. I'm just shouting and the microphone is right here. So everyone at home, I'm really sorry. Just really happy because this went really bad. It actually went for me like it's gone for Yamato in game. In rehearsal, so
that's an understatement. Sjokz actually got crushed. Is there anyone that you'd like to thank? The academy, your parents?
I'm gonna thank Cyanide just because he gave me such valuable information for this first one, and I'm glad that I got to reward him by actually also giving my team the pole position and the choice of the grid positions. Thank you, Cyanide, and go Team Red.
And Yamato, what the hell happened today?
Honestly, I realized that letting them sabotage themselves is probably the better choice, just to give them that fake confidence coming into the race. And then all of a sudden, you know, my drivers are going to kick into gear. And then when they get beaten, after they've placed their own grid, it's just a through-in. It's a confidence play here.
Yeah, okay. That's a lot of excuses and a lot of mind games coming from Yamato. Now, that was the Carrera race. We're going to go ahead and hand it over to our caster, Renee. Renee, take it away and get us into game.
Thanks, Bros. We're definitely ready for the game, and I have to say, that was an exciting qualifier.
Hey!
Some issues with the wangs, it seems. I think that is something Jimmer can maybe fix for Yamato later on in the game, so don't worry about that at all. And I have to say, Sjokz always kind of talks down her own team, but then, boom, there's the win. I really like that, so it will be very interesting with F1 2020. Obviously, I don't have to talk about the next race all on my own, because we also decided to call in Tom for that, so I have someone to chit-chat with. Tom, are you actually... I wanted to ask if you're excited, but you are, right?
I'm so excited right now, just watching all the mayhem / chaos that is going on. Sjokz. No doubt. Look, it was never in doubt. I started supporting the red team very early on, but I know what YamatoCannon is not one to be messed with. But also Cyanide, what intelligence, and Maxime, the way they were analyzing, which we were about to do going into the first race on F1 2020. What do you make of the track we're heading to?
We got 2 races in F1 2020. We got Monza, and then we head over to Montreal, right? Monza is a great, fast course. Obviously, one that everyone knows out there. Like, even people that are not really into racing, they probably heard about Monza at least once in their life. So everyone should be familiar with the track. It will be quite interesting to see who's actually getting a whole shot on the start there. And just so that the guys out there from Fnatic knows, Yamato needs to actually pay for that wing on that DTM car. Look that up on Google. It's quite expensive.
Yeah. Very expensive. Also, Cyanide, though, I believe, Renee, is signed to your team. You are looking after him. So hopefully he performs well. Team Red, he had the sort of analysis for how best to race it. But I'm very excited. Monza, for me, when I look at it, it's a very narrow track. It's high speed, lots of opportunity for mistakes to happen, but definitely not a mistake from you to sign Cyanide.
At least I hope so. I saw him in some of our endurance racing we did on ACC with him, and he's really good. I mean, he's also a joy in the team chat while doing those races, so I wonder if he can cheer up Team Ret a bit more across the day in case it doesn't really work for them on Monza. Although I have to say, looking at the lineup and the grids that they were talking about, I can't really decide. Do you want your fast guys to be up front and then say, all right, they will run away with a win, you definitely get the 10 points from a win, or do you say, we try to get the slowest up front, so they block everyone else, and our fast guys can definitely pass everyone, because, hey, you can let them pass on your own team, right?
Yeah, listen, from hosting the F1 Esports this year and watching David Tanitsa tear it up in Monza, getting back to form, I like to see an exciting race. I want the fastest drivers at the front, and don't worry, and just pick up the maximum amount of points, which is 10 points if you finish first, 8 if you finish second, third place gets you 6. So for me, don't worry about those back points. Let's try and get the most points that we possibly can from our fastest drivers. That would be how I'd look at it. Would you attack it differently?
I actually think I would put the fastest guys in the back, because I just think it's way easier for them to do the overtaking and making sure that you're like the drivers you have that might not be as quick in F1 2020, they can still stay ahead, right? Because it's completely different to close a gap on racing and to actually overtake someone. So there might be a chance here to just have them blocking, letting their own teammates pass. And then F1 2020 is also a game where most of these in the lineup have experience in, right? And I remember, right, from Team Pixel Held, I did a community championship on one of the previous F1 games many, many years ago. I think Dave was also in there, where all the content creators came together and we did a race every few weeks, basically with an entire grid. So they all have years and years and years of experience in F1, even though they might not be one of the top pro esports drivers on it. So you wanted a tight contested event. I think F1 2020 couldn't be exactly that for the kickoff today.
Yeah, I'm interested to find out with obviously Dave Gaming, a very experienced driver. So is Maxime as well, Jimmy Broadbent. It'd be interesting to see who's starting off in first and second in P1, P2. Rennie, do you have the answer for that one as we look towards it?
Yeah, Red actually gets the first row with Dave Gaming and rAiii. I think that's a very strong start. So they went for the strongest F1 drivers to lead off row number 1. And I think with these two together, they should be able to work as an entire unit. Then Jimmy Broadbent and Jardier on a third and fourth, so second row. I would say Jimmy Broadbent, with all the support he probably gets in the chats and in all streams around the world, that could lift him up to the front row.
Yeah, no Punterino, though. That's what his fans are already saying on Twitch. No, Jimmy, hold back. We know how good Emily Jones is on other titles. So with this, with Cyanide there up in sixth position at P6, it could be interesting. I'm excited by so far. GamerMuscle as well. We know how good he is.
GamerMuscle is one of these dark horses for me, I have to say. I met him a few times. Few times before, but actually I heard that we got green light already in Monza, so let's just jump right to Italy and see who's currently in lead, and that is Dave Gaming in front of rAiii. So it seems like start and turn 1, that's a very tight chicane, worked absolutely flawless for them before they go through the Lesmos and then back onto a back stretch. Jimmy Broadbent in third, but then we see Emily Jones and Cyanide already in fourth and fifth, while green with Maxime, GamerMuscle and Jardier dropped heavily. So I wonder if something happened, especially since we have a penalty flag on Sai. Is that the first time that I actually have to penalize him with money and a fine as well for not behaving on track? Who knows? But Red in total control of this race. Besides Jimmy Broadbent, look at that. Jimmer all on his own in the sandwich of Red drivers, going down to the long right-hander. That's a 180-degree corner. Well, we also have a quick look at Dave Gaming. By the way, this guy is changing hairstyles so often. I need to check his videos basically every week now to be up to date with what's happening, especially with his wall of wheels in the background as he does all the hardware checks. But Dave Gaming is the leader still after lap number 1, and Jimmy Broadbent needs all that slipstream now down into the chicane to maybe get into attacking range against rAiii, but that won't happen so quickly. Look at that. It's a gap of nearly a second already, and you can't even make that up in slipstream, especially as rAiii has slipstream from Dave Gaming. Maxime, GamerMuscle and Jardier still behind the red wall of Emily Jones and Cyanide. Oh, we see Jimmy hard working on the wheel. I hope he's not trying the 100% challenge again, because otherwise this will be a very exhausting day for him throughout the entire evening with all the races still happening. But he's getting closer. Jimmer, that only works in karting. Like, it does not work in virtual racing. As close as we are to real life already, this will not help you at all. But to me, it seems he's actually closing that gap to rAiii and Dave Gaming. That will lift him from 6 to 8 points, while we're on board now with Maxime right behind Cyanide. She said that she will not do the mistake again as last time, where she lost to Jimmy Broadbent, but this time Jimmy Broadbent is a teammate, so they can help each other out instead of fighting against each other. Sai not really that great on the very last corner. I think that could have been a bit quicker there. You need all the momentum on these 180 degrees to really bring that onto the start-finish straight. And now Maxime has way more speed. Look at that with all the slipstream. Now being forced to the outside, at least for the first half of the chicane. Let's see if they can do that side by side down into the chicane. Cyanide still on the inside. I think they nearly touched. Super clean racing here. Maxime is through. That's the first overtaking here. We see for Team Green as Maxime takes down Sai here. I should reconsider. Maybe I should message Maxime real quick if she wants to replace Sai in our team. But wow, that was a great maneuver here. So Green finally back on gaining some points instead of losing them after the start was catastrophical, basically. Jimmy Broadbent, 0.9 seconds so far. So it seems like he's not really closing the gap to rAiii, nor does he lose time to Emily Jones. So it's not super bad for Green right now, but Maxime and maybe GamerMuscle, now that Cyanide was overtaken once, that's a hard punch already to his confidence. Maybe GamerMuscle and Jardier can pick that up and win some more points for Team Green. Otherwise, it seems like the first race in F1 2020 really goes the way of Red right now. So Jimmy now half a second away, so that lap 4 was a lot better. Will we see another fight here? Cyanide against Maxime, and Cyanide back to 5th position here. Great overtaking. I love that. There's great respect between these two while fighting. That's not easy to go into the first chicane here, side by side with not crashing, not touching. So I think they did a great job here. And so far, they put on really, really good racing. Maxime back on against Sai with a mistake here. Maxime around the outside, getting back onto 5th position. That was a quick one. I thought he can hold that a bit longer after that great overtake, but Maxime is immediately punishing Sai for the slightest mistake he does there. I absolutely love that great racing that we see between these two, while the rest of the grid is still unchanged. But who's coming out on top here? They're in lap 4 out of 5. Not long to go if Sai wants that position back, if he wants to get more points for Team Red and making sure that they have a great start here. But look how Maxime runs away with it right now. Not even the slipstream, Sai can close that gap, so he's falling further behind. But GamerMuscle and Jardier, you can't even see them in the dust. They're somewhere in the back. No one knows. Maybe they're not even in the lobby anymore, but they're definitely not with the rest of the pack here. While Jimmy Broadbent is finally on Dave Gaming and rAiii. So rAiii first. Pixel Helden will be very happy about that in the chat, with him leading and Dave Gaming now on a second. They're using the slipstream very well here as a team on the start-finish straight. So let's see if Jimmy Broadbent gets involved here. He's already showing himself in the rearview mirror of rAiii. Dave Gaming very late with the braking. We saw a bit of smoke coming up from his tires there, but he was able to hold on to the lead, and rAiii is still blocking Jimmy Broadbent in the background. I think he's doing a good job there, but Jimmy is dialed in. Look at that. He's really dialed in. He wants to have that overtake done before the end of the race. That was a bit risky, showing himself there, but it was enough to get rAiii to change his line there. That's an important bit. You want to put some pressure on the car in front of you. Want to make sure that you can force them into a mistake, and it looked like that went well there for Jimmy Broadbent. Not enough yet, though, to actually get 2nd position. Let's see if he can take that before the end of the race, or if Team Rat will actually be 1st and 2nd here. Maxime still in front of Cyanide, so that's very good for Team Green there, grabbing a few more points. But it seems like no one can stop Dave Gaming from taking the first win of the evening, with rAiii now 0.3 of a second in front of Jimmy Broadbent. He might have another shot now here at the end of the backstretch, while we see Dave coming around for the very last time, it should be, to take the win here in Monza. Let's see in the background if Jimmy Broadbent actually gets alongside rAiii. No, he doesn't. So it is Rat on 1 and 2. Jimmy Broadbent making sure that Team Green also scores properly with 3rd, Emily Jones, and 4th. A very silent race from her there, but with everyone being quite busy around here, that's probably the reason. Maxime in 5th, Cyanide should be in a 6th. And then we have Jardier, GamerMuscle. GamerMuscle lost another position there, so Jardier in 7th and GamerMuscle on 8th. Great first race, of respect now at least, but hey, there's still a few more races to come, and I'm pretty sure that they will actually put their gloves on, or maybe Jimma puts the production gloves off. I don't know how it works for him to actually go more aggressive in the race, but that was a good start, and it seems like Rat was actually making sure that that Sjokz can be a bit more confident in the next talk, so.
Oh, that's good.
All right. I actually have to calculate all the points because that will be quite a hefty job for me tonight. I'm really, really bad with that, so I hope that Tom also writes all of this down. Otherwise, something will go wrong. We totally lost oversight, and in the end, it will probably Frost be winning, even if she didn't take part, because that happens when I'm actually calculating live on air. Never do that. So we got Red on 1 and 2, Green on 3, and then 4 was Red again, 5 was Maxime, right? So Sai, he actually left some points there for Red. That was very unfortunate, but at least we had a great, great fight. But that's not even the end of F1 2020 for us tonight, because we will also head over to Montreal, where we have the World of Champions and the second race of F1 2020. So now that we saw a bit who's actually good in that game and who can maybe bring the most points for your teams, let's see if that will stay the same in Montreal. Quite a different track. There are also long straights, so slipstreaming will be a thing once again, but it's way more technical and not as high speed as Monza is. So maybe that suits a different driver, maybe not. We will actually figure that out, and after that we'll, as you saw in the format previously, we have a lot of races tonight, so don't worry about that at all. There will be enough action for everyone going on out there, and also more qualifier games. I think Tom is back. Tom, you all right?
Yes, what it was happening, Renee, I was just trying to add up in my head. And normally F1 Esports, with the likes of Matt Gallagher and Alex Jakes and Natalie Pinkham, we have someone who does all the adding up for us. So please don't ask me for the rest of the night to do the adding up. But basically, fastest guys up front, that narrow first turn, very exciting. Then you had the chicane at the end, put a few drivers off. Jimmy Broadbent, I think, will be kicking himself that he wasn't able to overtake Dave Gaming and get back in there in that race and get more points for his team.
I saw a chance there at the end in Parabolica. I actually thought Jimmy will go for that move, but it seems like he wasn't close enough, or he was afraid of, doing something wrong and then ending up spinning the car, getting rid of the wang, and then all of a sudden losing points. Do you think there will be a moment where people have to decide on either grabbing more points or trying to really be on the safe side to make sure that at least early now in this big Clash of Races matchup, they're not losing too many points from being too risky?
Yeah, I think you're onto something there. There's definitely some strategy going on with these guys. They don't want to make a mistake and let their team captain down. However, with this, hey, it's not a sprint in many respects. We've got 3 other disciplines coming up tonight. Trackmania. We've also got iRacing, and we'll have Assetto, Corsa, Competizione. So with that, get as many points as you possibly can. If you slip off, make a mistake, you're really going to let your team struggle. So I think consistency is going to be key for all of the guys tonight.
And let's see who can actually be the most consistent team out there throughout the 3 hours of show that we have. I heard that we got some cool replays actually from the Monza race. So I hope that we can actually look into that once again, maybe see the start that we missed or see the fight that we saw in the chicane. So let's jump right back into the first race. It was lap 1 with Dave Gaming and rAiii taking control of the race early on, with Jimmy Broadbent trying to close that gap, but then Team at Maxime had her first fight here against Cyanide with a great maneuver. Look at that once again, down into the first chicane, really late under the brake, and then beautifully executed. Also, a lot of respect by Cy, made that move happen, and then on Parabolica, it was him taking that position back. Later on, though, it seems like he lost it again, and that was the rear there. Struggling with traction on the grass. Obviously, you can't really get out of the corner correctly. And here on the backstretch, there's no chance for him to catch up to Maxime once again. Dave Gaming won rAiii second, and Jimmy Broadbent, he was so close making the move there, but unfortunately, he couldn't. Maybe he could make up for that in Montreal.
Yeah, maybe. The Wall of Champions, I think that has Jimmy's name written all across it, doesn't it? What I love about Twitch is seeing everyone's comments, people getting way behind Jimmy Broadbent. So I feel like he's going to have a lot of pressure on his shoulders going into this one, especially because the Team Green need to get more points on the board. But at the same time, it's a brilliant track. I love watching all the races and the F1 Esports on this. And I believe from last season, it really just sets apart the drivers coming into turn 10 as well. Very difficult turn there. So I'm expecting someone to come off the track. I've predicted it.
I mean, it's very likely Montreal is a tricky track, but it would be interesting to see if anyone questions the Wall of Champion and then actually takes the win tonight, so that this legacy can go on and on and on. Who knows? But if you have to pick someone besides Dave Gaming who's starting from the pole, who could be the winner out of Sector 1?
Ooh, I couldn't possibly predict, Renee. I couldn't possibly predict. But when I look at the lineup, getting down to Montreal, we do not want to miss the race start. I apologize to everybody watching. He was like, what do you mean? They were still chatting and we missed the start. We don't want that to happen again here. Dave Gaming, P1, P2, rAiii, and then, of course, it's the repeat, Jimmy Broadbent in 3rd and Jardier in 4th. Looking very hotly for Emily Jones and Maxime, isn't it, Renee?
Definitely. I mean, if they have a good start again, then they should be able to hold on to that for at least a lap, because it is so hard to pass. It's obviously the same grid as for the first race. We'll always carry that over from the one qualification. So each racing title that we see tonight has its own qualification game, like it was the Carrera this time. Next time it's a different kind of game, so we will keep the same grid, and that also means that GamerMuscle and Maxime once again have to start all the way from the back. We saw Maxime, though, really climbing up the ranks, so the question is maybe Montreal might be the track for her to really crush that lineup.
Yeah, I hope so, for the fact that she can, from Clash of Racers 1, where she made a mistake early doors and allowed Jimmy Broadbent to overtake her and win the race. I'm hoping there's a little bit of redemption / a very cold revenge.
We'll see what's happening there. But Tom, what's going on with your own racing career, by the way? I mean, you're now so involved with everything around esports racing and all that. When do we see you really competing for wins somewhere?
Listen, I'd love to talk about it, but I'm signed to a hefty contract deal. We're sitting back. We're not racing. I'm just focusing on winning football awards to the side table there and getting my own name on my Southampton football shirt. The racing career, we just stand by, hold by, guys. It's going to happen.
Otherwise, we'll just have to invite you over to Germany and we'll do some laps at the Nürburgring. I think that will be fun.
Oh.
I want to see you commentating while racing there for the first time, or just having a lap. I think that could be fun. Should do that.
It would be terrifying for me. I'm terrible at parking my own car. So listen, I feel I'd be awful on track, but I would love to. What I love is watching how much passion all the racers in F1 esports and in esports racing in general. When I watched it earlier on in the year, finally getting to work with Nitro Nights, I just see that passion, and that is something that I'm inspired to do more of myself. I'm just waiting for that opportunity.
I think we're actually getting ready for the race at Montreal, so I hope we jump into that as soon as possible to see the start once again and see if Dave Gaming and rAiii can actually have a replay, basically, of what happened at Monza. With all of them having enough of experience in F1 2020, I expect that there will be a game changer one way or another, because if Red runs away with first and second in both F1 races, that will be a great start and will be hard for Yamato's team to overcome that later on tonight. Although, with Trackmania coming up, a game where I have to say, I didn't do that for years and years and years. It will be very interesting who can be up front on that. So we got the lobby session starting in just a second, and then we're on our way at the Villeneuve circuit here. Obviously, father of Jacques Villeneuve, the F1 champion with Williams, if I remember correctly. That's quite a few years ago already, and off we go. Green lights here at Montreal, and someone is standing there. That's a terrible start. Who is that? Is that Jardier not coming away from the line there? That was questionable, I would say. Dave Gaming and rAiii still in first and second. Jimmy Broadbent on third. So once again, he's in that rat sandwich, and he wants to make a move further up to grid. Emily Jones, Cyanide, and fourth and fifth. And then GamerMuscle, Maxime, and Jardier 6th to 8th. So green once again on the side of the hunters, I would say. They really need to make something happening here. We got Cy and Jimmy Broadbent. Obviously, that's a big streamer. Well, I have to say, as much as I like Cy, Jimmy Broadbent is just, he is sim racing streaming or racing game streams. Yeah? He basically defines the entire genre, so it will be very hard in the stream awards for Cy to get up against that, at least right now. Very closely between Emily Jones and Cyanide. Hopefully they're not crashing into each other, so have a quick look. Cyanide, make sure that you're not touching a red car, because that is your own, with Maxime right behind. So same battle as on Monza. Let's see if Cy can come out on top this time. First chicane, really hard braking zone once again. And we see that under braking, Maxime seems to be a lot stronger, really winning meter by meter every single time. And now alongside already to Cy. Cy tries to block, forcing her to the outside. There might even be a chance for Jardier to come back. Cy had to brake, otherwise he would throw away that car. That's opening the inside. Look at that, Jardier, you just went through there. But Cy's still very fast. Wow, risky entry in the chicane there. We see him smiling. He probably knew that exactly. That was not easy, and it was definitely risky. But Cy still bumping in the back here of Jardier. Was that revenge? Was that would be crazy for start here. But now Cyanide and Jardier 7th and 8th. So they're losing a lot, with Maxime and GamerMuscle now being on 5th and 6th. Emily Jones also now getting under pressure from Maxime. Soon, I guess. Actually, Emily Jones went through there. That was an overtaking. Fortunately, we missed that one. Well, Jardier has to have a comeback now. Won't be easy for him, losing a lot of time there. But Cy, look at Cy. Currently, he is really, really slow on the track. Seems like Montreal is absolutely not the track for him to make an impact. For Team Red, while Emily Jones now locks out the entire podium here. For Team Red, with Dave Gaming and rAiii being up front. So the German YouTubers right now dominating on F1 2020, basically bringing us back the Schumacher times before Mick Schumacher returns to, or not returns to, but jumps into an F1 seat in 2021. So maybe that's foreshadowing for next season already. Who knows? but Green has to find an answer. They have to find more points to stay in this race. Luckily, Cyanide's still 7, so that gives them a bit more points with having 4th, 5th, and 6th so far. But Maxime seems to be all focused. Look at her face right now, really concentrated, trying to not make a mistake here, or hoping for a mistake done by Dave, rAiii, or Emily, because it's racing. No matter how good you are, if you're on the edge, something can always happen. It's not easy to do the same laps over and over again. Well, we get a quick look at our captains as well. Look at them discussing the race here in the studio, making sure that the team is actually executing the strategy they were talking about. But now Cyanide is under a lot of pressure of Jardier again. We saw that previously. Jardier seems to be quicker here in Montreal than Cy. So let's see if Cy finds a way to block him, to maybe be a bit more defensive. Oh, that was back and forth before the turn there. Slight bump from Jardier in the back, making sure that Cy definitely knows he's there and he wants to overtake before the end of the race. Slipstream should be enough to close that gap once again. Cy really struggling under braking. That seems where everyone is making up so much time, and you have to be an F1 specialist, like an F1 game specialist, to really know how to use these modern and very technical cars. So many different systems in such a modern F1 car that you have to control and that you have to be good at. And it seems like Cyanide is not really dialed in for that. Maybe later on when we head over to GT racing, that might be more his style, while we see Jimmy Broadbent working the wheel, has his virginity protection gloves on, as he says in his streams. So that should help, because we saw what happens to his wheel when he doesn't have them on. And he's closing the gap to Maxime. Maxime, though, 1.6 seconds off from Emily Jones. So it's definitely not happening in the next few laps unless there is a mistake by Team Red, but they should be able to just cruise into the finish here at Montreal and making sure that Red gets the entirety of the podium. That will be a great and big celebration, I can tell you that. We should have that live, actually. Right now, first time on camera, Pixel Helden frontman, bringing back the good old times of community racing in F1. As I said, I was part of that championship back then, where all the content creators came together and raced a real, like 100% race with everyone involved. You could build teams and then have a real team strategy and everything. And everyone out there who played F1 2020 and all the other F1 titles knows that pit stop strategy and tires are very important. Not here in our short 5-lap race, though. So it's all out for everyone. With Dave Gaming now having a proper gap before rAiii. That's 1.5 seconds for the German content creator that lately got a very cute puppy. I have to say that. If you check out his streams and videos, I know that he also streams a bit more. You can see that. It's cool. And he also went into real-life racing. I have been with him on 2 different tracks this year. We have been in Hockenheim, and he did his first lap in a real race car at Nordschleife. So he brings the experience from the real life as well. Well, we see him taking the win here in Montreal in front of rAiii, Emily Jones, so a full Team Red podium, and then Maxime, Jimmy Broadbent, Jardier, who overtakes GamerMuscle, and Cyanide. He's down by 12 seconds now, so Montreal definitely not a race that he will want to remember throughout the entire evening or even tomorrow. We'll ask him for that, what happened there, but not looking good, although Team Red super strong here in Montreal in another time where they scored strong. Driver of the day, though, the game says it's Maxime. Interesting. I mean, she was super quick, really good in overtaking. We know that Dave Gaming obviously started from the front row, so it was a bit easier for him, I would say. But Maxime actually made all the moves happening, got all the overtakes in for her team. So it'll be interesting to see if maybe next time Yamato wins the qualifier game and Team Green can start further up, if it might be a completely different story. We might not see Team Red winning and locking out an entire podium as they just did, because we're done with F1 2020, so wherever you thought is good in this, that was the last chance to really score in that game, as we will head on to other racing and esports titles. And I see Froska's ready, and you're laughing already. What was a good race to watch?
Yeah, it was actually super exciting and great cast on the day. Thank you so much, Renee and Tom, for pitching in right there. So, We have to talk about it. The elephant in the room, that was a podium lockout from the red team right there in Montreal. Yamato, Maxime did win driver of the day in the end right there, was in tons of fights, tons of overtaking, but losing the qualifier didn't really set her up for success.
Yeah, I think that was all on me. I think I didn't realize how much responsibility we have.
A lot, yeah.
And it turns
Well, I took it seriously. I don't know about you, but...
I'll pretend and say that I didn't for my own confidence coming into the Mario Kart thing. But...
Spoilers.
Whoops.
It's okay. So was that kind of one of your first times watching F1 2020?
Yeah, I was surprised by how precise everything is
Yeah.
and how realistic everything is. I'm so used to playing like fantasy games where everyone one-shots you and jumps around and there's a lot of power creep and balance issues. But here everything seems very fair and the listings made it troublesome for my guys to go through.
Yeah, I heard Renee talking on the cast about some of the technical maneuvers. A lot of the rigs that they'll be in will be simulating and give you force feedback. So a lot of drivers will actually race with actual gloves, even in their sim rigs, because it just destroys your hands otherwise. And Cyanide especially really got his ass kicked.
Yeah, I mean, I think when we talked to him, he said it. He said like, hey, you got to put me in last place. Maybe I can do some damage, but there's not more I can do. And I thought that was really cordial of him, and it came true. And I'm really happy that I got to win at least the first qualifier for my team and make those decisions, because they paid me back with a full podium in Montreal, the first 2 spots in Monza as well. And I've got to say a special thanks to rAiii and Dave, who had that number 1 and 2 position, and they kept that control impeccably. And just like Yamato, I was so taken aback by how cool and how realistic it all looks, and how you're so invested in even the minuscule moves in the slipstream and trying to overtake in some of the moments on the tracks. And it was really cool to watch. I'm very excited for the rest of the races.
Yeah, I think that was probably the coolest thing is first and second, Dave and rAiii, they're using the slipstreams together to make sure that they could lock out Jimmy Broadbent, especially in the first race.
That was close. He was pushing.
He was literally pushing. But I think Jimmy probably runs away with kind of like, at least for me, was the racer to watch. A lot of fighting happening, almost tried to pull it back for Yamato. And maybe the score, I mean, we'll take a look at the score in a second, but it may actually be closer than we suspect, even though Sjokz got the podium top with Emily, rAiii,
I also got to say, I got some misinformation because like putting Jimmy in third, but he can do some real damage there. I think for sure Maxime is never going in the first.
You gotta get them low. Maxime and Jimmy
gotta go back, and Jimmy
has
has to be back as well. So I think I'll have to reevaluate coming into this next one if I'm able to win the next challenge, which is of course no certainty.
Any takeaways, Yamato?
Honestly, I realized that I just got to do better for my team, because I think if I beat Sjokz, I think my team would have beaten Team Red easily.
All right, well, I heard we got some replays. I'm assuming it's going to be of some of those really intense fights. Maxime was usually kind of in the middle of them. Her and Cyanide, especially on Monza, was like neck and neck. I think there were 3 different overtakes. Maxime getting the better of him in 2 of them. We take a look at the first one, and yep.
She was oozing with self-confidence before, and it showed also in the overtakes, I think. She did just enough to beat Cyanide in those, and that's not an easy thing to do, as well as to keep it, because remember, Cyanide also ended up taking his position back, but she closed the door on him immediately and overtook him again after. So yeah, you've got a really great player there, a really great driver with Maxime.
I believe you. I'm having a hard time seeing because I need to upgrade my
You
lenses.
need your glasses.
You need the blinder binocular glasses. A bit of a rocky start right there, but I love watching F1 because even if you don't know a lot about it, Sjokz, you and I were talking about it, it's so entertaining and it's so easy to have it grab you right away. And I know that you've actually seen some F1 races live.
Yeah. I have, and I'm actually even more excited to maybe try this out, because I would love to have the feeling like I'm really in one of those cars. And when you look at the racers, you see that they're completely vibing. They're completely feeling it. When they're being overtaken, they hate it and they feel all those same emotions. So it was really dope to watch, and I'm very proud of my Team Red.
Now, of course, we do have an interview coming up. It's going to be Tom and Dave, I believe. So, guys, can you let me know that you're ready?
So ready. So
Perfect.
Ready. Yay.
Yeah, very, very excited to be back for Clash of Racers 2. Don't forget to use the hashtag Clash of Racers so that I can see your questions popping through on the Twitter overtake_GG. But that man right there joining me, Dave Gaming, talk to me about how perfect your 2 races were there in Monza and Montreal.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a team effort. Ray and me, we were giving us each other slipstream so we could pull away a little bit from the other guys to create a gap to Jimmy, and worked perfectly well, and was 2 good races, and especially in F1 I feel very confident with my performance.
Yeah, you are a very, very confident driver. The rest of your team doing a brilliant job. And can I just say, in Montreal, Cyanide did the perfect job of completing the Team Red sandwich. All the other green competitors were the filling. And I knew it was going to be Team Red all day. But what do you think is going to be your strategy going forward in the other titles like Assetto Corsa Competizione, Trackmania, and of course iRacing?
Well, we have seen some guys making a few mistakes. For instance, Jimmy. I hope I will be a little bit more calm to wait for a few mistakes and profit from them.
Yeah, the mistakes are out there. But it's important for your team captain, Sjokz, to give you that advantage of putting you first and second, Team Red, on the grid. How important was that today?
Yeah, I think it was quite easy to not be right in the middle of the pack, and so you can really live up to the strategy that you created before the race and create a gap, for instance, to Jimmy. Otherwise, you can just pull away, and then we have to catch up, and also you make more mistakes when you have to catch up another guy.
Yeah, well, listen, try and find that perfection. You're already there, Dave Gaming. Enjoy the rest of the competition today. I will pass back now to Indiana and the 2 team captains.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tom and Dave. Already talking about that incredible slipstream move. Love to watch it. And I have to give credit to Sjokz. I know Cyanide really helped you there, but F1 is such a fast sport that even the slightest advantage of getting pole position, you can just walk away with it. So credit where credit is due.
Yeah, we got to rehearse a little bit for the Carrera challenge before, so I really got back and I really thought about how I would execute my strategy. And, it is really a very, very subtle game of like, okay, when am I going to try and overtake? What should I do in the turns? Where can I overtake Yamato? I really put my heart and soul into it.
Was it just smashing the button?
No. You can't do that, in fact, because you want to, and that's what we did in the beginning. But the thing is, that was just one, right? But now you have to shake that off, because I'm fairly certain that in the next one, Yamato might be able to take it. So you need to keep your head in the game.
Let's go ahead and look at the damage. Yamato, you'll get a chance to respond in a second. Let's check out the standings and see how far ahead Sjokz is with that podium lockout. Ooh. Okay. We now see race 1 and 2. Dave really pulling it home for you. Now, Jimmy did try his best there, but Emily Jones managed to close out in race number 2. Again, that podium lock. I think we have a total somewhere. There we go. Oh, it's bad.
Oh. It's a double. It's the double. It's just, there we go.
Okay.
Oh.
Hey, we've got 4 modes. Like, this is not the end at all.
Wow, are you really gonna give him that? Yamato, that's 26-13. How you feeling, buddy?
Honestly, I'm hoping that we can create some gaps in the others. I'm hoping that some of the other games are more suited for me because I got smacked, and I just hope I can regain my confidence because I was off the 3-0. That has happened to us Europeans so often in our line of work.
Yeah, that's true.
All about bouncing back, and next one will be better.
That's true. I also you have to think about kind of the mental aspect. If your team captain loses kind of the first one straight off the bat and you're put in a negative position and you can't overtake, then for the next one, oof, I would worry.
Bit of a yikes. It's iRacing next. I believe we're racing Spa.
Ooh, Belgium.
Some home country advantage. Let's go ahead and... It's okay, Yamato. Let's go ahead and introduce Yamato to iRacing by taking a look at the video.
If you are searching for high-level racing simulation that is as close to real life as possible, iRacing might just be the game for you. It is the household name of the sim racing universe and has proven to be more than just a game. Since 2008, iRacing has brought the fans a platform of incredible detail that is ever evolving. Laser scanned tracks and meticulously modelled cars are just some of the assets the service provides. During the last year alone, the number of active users quadrupled. This makes iRacing one of the biggest titles in sim racing. Some of the world's top Formula One drivers, such as Max Verstappen, use iRacing regularly and are big ambassadors for the scene in general. This only speaks to the reputation that iRacing has achieved. With many of the biggest esports tournaments in the racing scene, iRacing has proven not only to be for casual enjoyment, but the gold standard in terms of competitiveness.
I'm going to go ahead and say iRacing for me is kind of like the quintessential sim race esports. It's kind of the big dog, if you will. I was just telling Yamato that they laser scan a lot of the tracks and they can get that real precision into it. So
Nice.
we do have another pregame interview to help you guys out, figure out who are the better iRacers in your squad. And now you know how important it is to get those pole positions. So are you guys nervous about this one? Feel a little bit better? Yamato, you got ground to make up?
Honestly, I feel good because in the end, my team, they're not going to lose any confidence. They did well. They know I take the blame on myself, so they just need to hope that I do better and deliver the same. And I'm sure they can.
I'm sure they can. Actually, if anything, it got me even more wary of some of your drivers. And maybe I'll have to make some changes, but I'll have to ask, of course, my teammate when it comes on. I don't know who we're interviewing next, but...
We've actually got Emily Jones and Jimmy, so...
Okay.
Oh, Jimmy.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Emily, Jimmy, can you hear us?
Hello.
Perfect.
Yes, hello.
How are you?
Hi.
Emily,
Hello.
what time is it for you?
It's 5 a.m.
Oh, no.
So,
Well, first off,
yeah.
Emily, is that okay? Are you feeling tired? Is it going to be fine?
I slept for like 2 hours before, and I was up at 2, and I'll drive till like 8, and then I'll go to bed for an hour, and then I'll go to work. So it's going to be great.
I love that you have your heart in it. That's great, actually. Yeah.
Tom was just talking about that passion. Okay, Yamato, Sjokz, Emily, Jimmy, it's iRacing now. These two captains are going to need your guys' expertise on how to break down the grid. So give me your best. Emily, let's start with you. How would you guide Sjokz through how to set people up for iRacing right now?
Okay, iRacing, I feel like it depends where we're starting at Spa, because if it's before the source, it might be slightly easier, but if we're going down towards like Eau Rouge, it might be more difficult. I reckon I should start on pole just because.
Ooh, confidence.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to be confident. And I reckon we put, I reckon maybe Dave Gaming on second.
Uh-huh.
And then.
I agree with that.
Yeah, maybe Ryan in third, and then Cy in fourth. I think that would be best.
And what if I lose the challenge? Well, I mean, actually, that doesn't matter. I don't get the pick. But last time I made the mistake that I put if we won. I also put, I think, Jimmy pretty high up. I know he's on this call, so it's a bit awkward. But I actually think he should be more like further down. He seems more dangerous to me than what Cyanide gave him credit for. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, look, he's definitely dangerous. If he's around you on track, he will be. Yeah, I reckon we want Jimmy to be shuffled down the order a bit.
Okay, nice. I like that. We'll put him on 8.
So what kind of order then, Emily, do you want your competitors to start in if you're pushing Jimmy down?
So I think we've got Emily in pole position, and then we got Dave to help her there, and to control. I guess we put Maxine and Dave, sorry. I'm already calling him Davey. Dave on 7 and 8, and then, we'll just put Cyanide and rAiii on 3 and 4. Have you got a preference? Would you like Cyanide as 4 and rAiii as 3, or the other way around?
Either is fine. I'm okay with either.
I think you should put Cyanide in 4.
Yeah.
Come on, Frost.
Yeah. Okay, so we put Maxime and Jimmy on 7 and 8, and then on 3 and 4 we put Jardier and
Muscle.
And Muscle. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Jimmy, it's now your turn to help guide Yamato, and
Jimmy,
speak up how much of a danger you are on this course.
Jimmy, my man.
Mate, first of all, you got to win the challenge. I watched the challenge. I was embarrassed for you. What was going on?
Jimmy, don't do me like that, man. Put me onto a different game. Help me out, man. Boost me. Give me some Mario Kart tips.
Oh man. Okay, I don't really know who to put where. I guess if I were to get rid of Emily, Emily's a bit of a weapon in iRacing, so you can go as slow as possible.
All right.
So get rid of them. As for us, who's actually good at anything? Jardier is all right. Jardier is pretty good at iRacing. I'm okay. GamerMuscle isn't.
All right.
And I don't know about Max, actually. So, as you can see, very helpful. Very helpful.
Wow.
I need to ask you, Jimmy. Is there any reason to like have a strategy? Like, let's say, for example, if I race with you guys, I would do my best to sabotage others. So I would just play like, you know, the car game called Burnout, where you like push people. Yes. That would be my strategy. Is there any room to implement that? GamerMuscle, boom, muscle car.
I was going to say, I think our strategy is to very quickly introduce Emily to the barriers, let her know what they look like up close in person. So we'll send in the missile muscle. And he can ruin it for us.
Okay, Yamato, Jimmy, give me the 1 through 8. So Yamato, first and second, your pole and second position are from your team. Then third and fourth from Sjokz's team.
All right.
I still have to
sixth and
explain
seventh from your
Yamato
team.
in the second time.
Can you run me down through it so we can make our graphic?
Jimmy, I'm delegating here. I'm the captain.
Absolutely.
You're my right-hand man here. Let me know. Let us know.
Ruined. Right, okay, so I guess me and Jardier at the front, because then we can do our best blocking strat. Behind us in third and fourth, we'll have, oh God, who should we put in there? Sai can be there, because I'm not worried about Sai. So he'll fall back on his own. I think maybe we can put, don't put Dave there or Rai, I don't know. We'll put Rai there. Then for our guys in fifth and sixth, this is so hard to get your brain around
I know,
this.
that's why he delegated, I think.
Okay, fifth and sixth, we'll have GM and we'll have Max, and then the rest can go there. Emily as far back as possible. Emily can start in France. We'll put her back there.
Emily,
nice.
do you have anything you want to say to Jimmy since he just dumped you in 8th place?
Rude. I've come to expect it from Jimmy, just starting driving, but it'll be fine. I'll show him the wall in this one.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just want to say I'm very proud of you all so far, Emily. You guys knocked it out of the park in the first one.
That's how you coach.
It's going to be great. Yeah, this is what you do.
I'd like to add as well, I'm very proud of you too. And I realize that the
proud of
fault
you.
is all mine. The fault is all mine. The blame is on me.
Oh, already there's animosity in Team Green. They're going at each other's throats.
What do you mean?
Already?
Go green.
Okay.
Veggies and beans.
Okay, leave it for Mario Kart, guys. Thank you so much, Jimmy and Emily. Good luck on your racing. Whoever has to start in last place, I'm really sorry. We'll figure it out with these guys. So good luck in your warm-ups. Hope you get in okay. And as for you two, we have our next qualifier race come up.
Let's go.
If you can't tell from our spoilers, it may be a little Mario Kart, but let's check it out.
It's time to find out which of our captains really is the fastest. Both get to try their hand at the Overtake Grand Prix in Mario Kart Live home circuit right here in the studio. This means navigating Mario through sections of the track named after some wonderful guests that we all know and love. But not only will the driving skills of our captains be tested in this challenge, in true Mario Kart fashion, there are also items scattered across the track to give the drivers an edge while they drive through our lovely studio in augmented reality. So we won't only see them race on the screen, we will also see their karts move in the studio. Besides bragging rights, the winning captain gets pole position in iRacing for their team as well.
Okay, guys, welcome to hell. This is Mario Kart Home Edition. They haven't done this before. I have, so I'm going to help you here. We are using AR technology. This is augmented reality. This is a brand new game for Nintendo Switch. These cars are expensive, so please do not break them, you guys. Now, the course is going to be driving through this living room environment that we have set up here. You can see it on the wide shot, the little...
Wait.
Would you stop cheating? Yeah, the gates are what you're supposed to drive through.
You're kidding. Where's my car?
Your car's over there.
Wait, I can't even see my car. We do?
Yeah, because Yamato's Luigi.
But I'm controlling Mario.
Then switch controllers.
All right.
Oh, come on, guys.
Wait, but
you're supposed to be
I've blessed this
professionals here.
controller now.
Okay, so I'm a boomer, so...
We have to
But
switch
I look at
position
this,
too.
right?
Yeah, you look
but
at
they're
that.
going to do it for me.
Yes, your little car will
This
drive.
is crazy.
Oh, no. This is
We'll
already
be
going to be a
upset.
disaster.
I'm already confused.
By the way, these are 100 euros each, so keep it on the course. Is everyone ready?
Wait.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, you about to get ready. Here we go. And we're off. I'm going to try to cast this one live.
Oh my god, this is so cool!
Already, Mario's a little bit
Wait.
drunk.
Where am I supposed to stand?
They just drive around him. Yamato having some big issues trying to get through gate
Oh
number.
no, I can't drive this? Against this? I can't take this? This isn't like a thing I can throw at Yamato?
Yamato, slow and steady.
Oh my god, my shoes! This is the best! This is so much fun, bro.
I'm scared.
Just take it nice and slow. Yamato, if you press Y, you can throw the bomb. It's okay, hold on to it, that's fine. There's some Adam West action. Okay, yeah, throw the boomerang.
Oh my god!
All right.
Okay, Sjokz starting to figure the game out right now. I'm unsure who's
my
actually...
shoes! My shoes!
Stop driving into me,
My
Sjokz.
shoes! Your shoes! Wait, I don't get how... Can I go this way?
No, you're supposed to... Come on. Come on.
Am I winning?
Yes, but I think it's more Sjokz is losing.
But this is the coolest thing ever. I just want to see the scenes. I just want to go around and like...
Watch this, Sjokz.
Am I not going the right way? Oh my god! How dare you!
Mate, I didn't even move that time. We need an adult. Sjokz is lost.
Wait, oh, but I'm really confused at the direction I'm supposed to. This is so fun.
How can I buy this?
Oh my god.
Well, I'm sure you can check out your local Amazon.
My local Amazon.
What do you want me to say here?
I also love how it's just product placement for our sneakers.
Spoiler alert, Sjokz, Yamato already won.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I was just going the wrong direction the whole time.
A little bit, yeah. You see the gates are numbered? I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Sjokz, you can you can finish the track.
I don't know if I can.
Okay, Sjokz, you see the guide rails on your screen?
I was going the opposite way of the guide rails every time.
And you see how the gates are numbered? So this one's 1, 2, 3?
No, we've got no explanation. I'm going to blame it on that. I just wanted to see the track. I liked it.
You just wanted to peruse around the living room?
Yeah. This is so much fun, though. This is insanely fun.
I also think that they have the cars going pretty slow.
I found the finish. Do I get...
There's no consolation for second place. There's no participation award.
This is the best.
Football uniform. Whoever owns this Switch.
You're welcome.
Oh, this was
Football
great.
uniform.
This was really fun.
Now, this does mean that it's going to be Yamato's grid that will be used in iRacing. So I believe Jimmy has been unleashed and Emily has now found herself starting in the very last position.
Oh, that's going to be... Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I hope she can pull out some moves like Maxime did from from like 5 and 6.
Not
hopefully.
like your Mario Kart moves.
So I still, I'm very confused. I'm the kind of gamer that really needs a lot of time with a game. And I was so confused. And things were driving against my shoes.
Let me show you how it goes. It goes like this. You start here, and then...
You're not supposed to look at both, right?
No, and then you can go around here. Yeah. This is how the course goes.
I should have looked at the course.
Yeah, you go through this one, and then you drive by the gator. You're like, what up, gator? And then boom, right into 3. You can either go around the shoe or the coin.
I thought I could pick up the coin.
I thought this was a person. I didn't understand.
I thought I could pick up the coin.
Guys, we're going to work on this. But for now, we're going to go ahead and send it over to Renee while I teach these guys how to play Mario Kart.
If you wonder why Sjokz might not be on her next shows, it's probably because she wants to go pro on Mario Kart Live. I mean, that looked really good. I'm just happy that they did drove through this studio because probably everything will be destroyed by now. Don't worry, on iRacing, which is our next sim racing title that we will hop into, the track is the black thingy, you know, the dark tarmac, and then everything around is green and they are walled, so people normally know where to go, especially since we're heading to Belgium for Spa-Francorchamps, which is one of the most iconic tracks out there in the world. Amazing change of elevation throughout the entire track, so it will be very interesting, especially since we also throw away all the F1 cars we had previously, like no high downforce and ERS and whatever systems they can come up with. No, we're going back to normal racing, basically, to basic, cool cars, which also means we go back to basic, cool people. Tom, that was nice, right?
Yeah, listen, I don't know what to say after watching that Mario Kart. And just a little spoiler for everybody, wherever you are in the world right now, we're going to be doing that again. So I cannot wait for that. It felt like a massive trainer endorsement. However, loving the comments that are coming on Twitch. But guys, if you're watching and you're on Twitter, make sure you use the hashtag Clash of Racers, and I can start giving you some shout outs. But rAiii, when I look at Spa-Francorchamps, I love this track. It's really, as you said, going to test our drivers today. And how will Emily do being all the way back in 8th?
Definitely very, very interesting race once again, because now the drivers that we had in F1 that had been really, really good, such as rAiii, are probably not as great in iRacing, because we heard already, also quickly in between, I tried to check the chat, and he said, oh, that's my second time in the game, so that might not really help on iRacing, because it is one of those hardcore sim racing titles, and not easy to conquer at all, so that will be interesting. But what do you think of them now switching from these F1 cars to, and that's the cool part, a Porsche 718 Cayman GT4 Club Sport MR?
Yes, not an easy title to announce the car there, is it? I looked at it and thought, please, rAiii will introduce the cars that their guys will be racing on. Yes, I think rAii's going to have a difficult time. Bruce2037 on Twitch said, rAiii has a good chance. I don't know about this. The car, the Porsche, is a beautifully lightweight, but beautifully constructed for that balance. And I think on Spa, especially when you're going up a Rouge, this one is going to really help. I think having that Porsche rather than the F1 car, but like you instigated or sort of suggested, it's going to be difficult for the drivers to just suddenly jump in to a different sort of car setup, and they're going to have to get used to it. But there's no time, is there? There's only 5 laps, so you better be hurrying up with this.
Yeah, there's only that one race on Spa, right? It's not like you get anything else out of this, so you have to be good on this Cayman, which is a GT4 car. So it's not the typical very prominent right now, the GT3 race series. No, it's a GT4 right below that is a midship car, and this is actually the livery that won in our contest. So it's an overtake livery. It obviously features Tak Hoya and AOC, our partners for Clash of Racers, and these are all done by the community. Absolutely love it. So they put a lot of effort into creating these cars, making sure that they look cool and on point for today's race, because I think we'll also use them. So it will be quite interesting as you will see these cars in a race environment, the beauty of sim racing, and that we can actually create such liveries and let the cars look like we want. And I would say looking good. That's the first part of winning, right?
Oh, look good, feel good, drive good, popping champagne or any other light beverage that you like when you've won. But I think it's going to be... I think that is the motto. These guys need to feel confident, and I think that fact that Yamato managed to win for Team Green will help out his drivers, because he took one on the chin for the team. He let them down by not winning the qualifier, and that really didn't help his drivers. So I think Jimmy Broadbent, watch out. This one, I think he's going to get the win.
I hope you saw at the results. It's basically like being behind in gold, and it's time for you to take the Baron if you actually want to come back. Maybe we should find more of that and try to help out with League of Legends highlights to get them into the racing world to make it a bit easier for them. But yes, Yamato's Team Green has to score, because that was a very strong start for Red in F1 2020. Although, looking at the lineup once again, I think in iRacing they probably have the best chance to do so.
Yeah, listen, when I look at this race, I think that Jardier is going to stand out for me. A lot of people are saying that he is a monster on iRacing and Assetto Corsa Competizione. That was popped in by Andrews. I think for that Team Green, he needs to step up. Team Red don't want to get complacent as we head in to our second event here. But it's for anyone's for taking. I think Emily's got a difficult task ahead of her to try and get back and get some points for the team. Listen, if you finish in 8th, you still get 1 point, but we don't want to look at it like that.
Yeah, they want way more points, but let's look at the starting grid and starting order for a race at Spa-Francorchamps. So, first row, that belongs to Team Green with Jimmy Broadbent and Jardier starting up front, hopefully controlling the race early on, because in 3rd and 4th, that's where the first drivers of Red will come into the play, and that is Cyanide and rAiii. So they decided for rAiii to be in the second and the first row for Red. that will be very interesting how he does after his very good race in F1 2020. And then another Team Green row with GamerMuscle and Maxime. So she should be very, very strong on this one. And starting from 6th, that's basically right in the center of it. So if you're calm and collected on the first corner, see at Spa, especially since Camel Straight will give you a lot of slipstream down to the chicane, she might be able to even challenge for the lead immediately. Emily Jones in 7th, and then Dave Gaming, probably one of the strongest iRacing drivers on Team Red. He will start that last, but that doesn't mean anything, because with Camel Straight, said that already, that's very early on a slipstream battle. It allows you to get back, catch up to everyone else, and create these first fights going into the first chicane.
Yeah, and listen, I do not want, you asked me about my racing career, and when I get into the scene a bit more, I do not want Emily Jones or Cyanide behind me. That would scare any driver, wouldn't it? I mean, it's going to be an exciting race. We enjoyed F1 2020. But now we head to iRacing, different platform, a different title in the esports racing world. And this one is, I think you have to be meticulous. You have to be perfect in your race. It's set up to be brilliant, and I can't wait to get into the race.
You can basically choose this time if you want to have rear gunner Cyanide behind you in the rearview mirror, or as we heard in the interview, missile muscle, basically. So these are the two different approaches that you can have for Spa. Will be very interesting to see how that works, since they first come through Arouche and up Jardier before they hit the Camel Straight. It is a track that probably everyone that's familiar with racing out there knows. It's a very beautiful place. Happened there last year to race. It's kind of tricky, but I said tricky so often today, but it is really, because you want to carry up all that speed up Jardier to actually hit Camel Straight with as much speed as possible. And Tom, you know exactly right. That's the moment where you can also do mistakes in slipstream, dirty air, lose the rear of the car, and then it's goodbye.
Yeah, it can be goodbye. We don't want to see that. I want all 8 racers to cross the line. That's what we definitely want from a neutral standpoint. When I say neutral, I really am neutral in this. I'm definitely not supporting Team Red. But as you heard from Dave Gaming earlier on, that importance of the slipstream for the 1 and 2, Team Green, need to use that. At all the corners you talk about, rAiii, I think you have to be perfect in your race, but also you have to work as a team. If there's a way that they can communicate, they need to get in touch with each other to make sure that they help one another out here and try and get as many points as they possibly can.
They definitely can, especially since the track is so wide at Spa, so you want to make sure that you cover all ground, basically, to not allow the opposing team to slip through. As we talked about in the beginning already, it is a more basic car. Basic probably sounds mean to it, because the Porsche Cayman is an absolutely amazingly balanced car. You have the engine right behind the driver's seat, basically. You can hear it roar. It's not as heavily based on aerodynamics, although this is the MR package. MR stands for everyone out there not familiar with the racing version. That's Mantai Racing. That's a company sitting at the Nürburgring here in Germany that creates specific race cars for classes, as the GT4 Cup, for example, that's run in the NLS in real life. So it is a tricked out Porsche Cayman, and that already is a car that is basically created for wheel-to-wheel racing, and that's what I want to see here.
Yeah, I want to see wheel-to-wheel racing. You speak so eloquently. I think we need to get to the race, rAiii, because I don't want to miss the start again.
Definitely not. So let's hop over to Belgium and Spa-Francorchamps for our first iRacing race here, the first and the only one. So let's bring it up on your screens while we're launching off the line already. So it is Team Green currently leading, Team Red in 3rd and 4th. Not much change there, but La Source as our first corner here. Tight happens. Seems like Red might be able to slip through. And then look at that, 3 wide out of La Source down to a Let's see if they actually have the guts here to take that on and keep it that way. No, they're going too wide now. Someone bailed out already. And then up, first Arouche and then up Jardier. It seems like that was a great start here for Team Green. After not being as strong as they could have been in F1, they now looking at a locked out podium. While I say that, I basically jinx it. And Red is back up to 3rd. So hopefully that we will get the name, so I'm not saying anything wrong. It also seems like the slipstream was fast enough to launch the red car up to second position already while they break here for the first chicane. You want to cut that curb a tiny bit. This one is actually harsh because if you hit it wrong, then the car really unsettles in the rear and then you lose a lot of speed because all of this is very floating. Someone seems to have an issue though, because one of the green cars is falling further back the pack. So leading car is green. I would guess this should be Jimmy Broadbent. I'm not quite sure right now because, as you can see, there are no names, so I have to guess a bit. But no, it could be Emily. There we go. Not Emily. Maxime in this case. But Maxime didn't start first row, I think, right? Because we have Emily Jones on the picture bottom left, which is Team Red. And I just tried to remember who started right next to Jimmy Broadbent. It was Jardier starting, so it could be Jardier or Jimmy Broadbent. Currently in the lead of lap 1 here at Spa-Francorchamps. And then Red in second position. So they're breaking up this green podium already, not giving too many points away here, at least if we're looking at it right now. And this might be the big next fighting group. I mean, Red is coming a lot closer. They have to sort each other out now because they want to use the slipstream, but they also don't want to block each other and Blanchimont, because if they will be side by side, they're losing a lot of speed there. Because it's a crucial corner, very fast left-hander. You can easily lose it there, run too wide, get a cut, or even throw the car away. So it is one of these moments, especially when you're here in real life, where you're thinking twice if you really want to be that quick as they are here. Now braking for the final chicane. Seems like they're sorting that out really well here with Team Green. They're playing along, making sure that they not lose too much time here. And that gives a chance for them to lock that out. Let's see, that is the entry list while we have results to the right. So if we get results up, then we should see who is actually leading. La Source, that gets close once again here between red and green in the background. That was for position 4 and 5. So really close racing once again. Beautiful shots down, start finish straight here. That's a long endurance pit lane on the right. And then that's actually running on, as everyone out there on Twitter and Twitch that probably knows. And once again, we get this slipstream battle. Look at that. So Red now blocking. They want to make sure that their teammate, so that Red gives slipstream to Red, but didn't work out. So everyone ends up with slipstream, at least a bit. Oh, very, very close. That was the contact. And then off he goes. So Red down by 1. That's a kill for green. Doesn't give additional gold though, Yamato, so don't be too happy about it. While we see red versus green going down, that's a tough corner because there's a bit of banking on the right and you want to drop into that. It's also downhill, so you will break the car easily. All the weight will be shifted to the front and then the rear gets a lot lighter, especially with the engine in the back. That's not simple, although these Caymans, they actually invite you to trail brake into a corner. So Jimmy Broadbent, he's currently leading in front of, that should be rAiii actually, Matthew, and then James West, that is GamerMuscle, Jaroslav Honzik, that is Jardier, Emily Jones, and then I'm actually really confused by now. Now, Mixie, I tried to stay with nicknames the entire evening to make sure that we're not confusing people even more, but now it's a lot harder. Never mind, though. We still got racing on here in a Spa, and it seems like both teams really good at iRacing. So it's a bit different to F1 2020, where we saw bigger gaps, and here we got fighting groups all over the place. Although I wonder, is that the fight for the lead? Yes, it should be, right? That is Jimmy Broadbent fighting against rAiii. Really, actually quite interesting to see him in second, although I might be mixing up real names here, so don't judge me on that. Wasn't really prepared for mixing names again. Well, they come through the last chicane up to start-finish straight, so that's another lap done for these guys. And then heading into La Source, you really want to brake super late. There's the 100 mark, and then you slam the brakes, trying to shift down second, sometimes even first, depending on how you enter that. And what you don't see from above on the camera is there's this ditch on La Source on the inside, and you really want to drop the car right in there, making sure that they get compression onto the suspension to get maximum traction out of the corner and really build up all that speed down to a rouge and an up radio, so that you can be as quick as possible on the camel straight down to the next chicane. We're on board now with James West. That's GamerMuscle, currently in 5th, right in front of Dave Gaming. That's the red car in the back. And then, no, it isn't actually, because Dave Gaming is 6th. So there we go. And then 7th is another green racer. Into the chicane once again, be late under braking. Dave a lot earlier than the green car in the back. Look at that, great under braking. Wow, what a performance here. Not able to make the move though, because the problem is we're shifting everything to the front. It's really hard to get the car to turn correctly because it might be overcorrecting or overturning, and then all of a sudden the rear is gone. Small contact here in the 90-degree downhill right. I guess that was a change in position. Yes, it was. Red now up 1, and that should be enough, especially now with the very fast right coming up. You want to get into 4th gear, basically, and then stick to the inside, trying to roll the car to this outside curb where these guys just came down from to really use the entirety of the track. So we'll see if that will be enough for Red here. Though I have to admit, it's really hard right now without names. I'm sorry for everyone out there. Pretty sure if we could have them up, we would. So bear with us. Army right now in 4th, and that is GamerMuscle. It's GamerMuscle in 4th, and then Army in 5th. Emily Jones 3rd right now, so that is the fight for 2nd position. Let's see if Blanchimont might get him close enough to get her close enough in this case to actually start an attack into the chicane, which is a great one if you're late on the braking, because you see the dip on the right there, but it was way too late, overshooting the corner, missing it entirely. Great cut though, back on the track. Probably giving away that position though, because that wasn't really fair. But especially on these Caymans, like I raced a Cayman with GT4 specs last year in Spa. If you run under braking, trail braking into that chicane, it gets very, very slippery. That's a lot of fun, but not really quick if you go sideways there. So Emily Jones now up to a 2nd position, according to this. I hope that is right now that they crossed the start-finish line with Jimmy Broadbent in 1st. So we have green, then red. That's the current 1 and 2 of this session. That was, by the way, the safety car. Looking good there. Not having a lot to do today. I'm happy about that, because otherwise that might be a very, very long race with a lot of waiting, and we don't want that. We want more racing action. We want to see more overtaking. We had quite a lot of that already here in Spa. Proves once again to be a great track for racing. Let's see if Slipstream is strong enough to bring all of these together again. Left once again, watch your marker, and then really slam those brakes, get that car to stop before you throw that in. On Spa, we're also doing 5 laps, so we should be halfway through by now. Jimmy Broadbent still in control of this race for Team Green, doing a great job there, bringing the team back with these points. If he can bring that home, it will be a bit blow against Red here after they locked out the podium basically on both F1 races. So they desperately need those points. Yamato picked the right guys, it seems, for iRacing, because Jimmy Broadbent unstoppable right now, and that is very good for him. Emily Jones doing a great job in chasing down, and then it's Jardier in 3rd. He started 2nd, so he dropped the 1 position already. Although it's quite confusing, because now he's on the screen, he's behind a green car, and on the result list on the left, he wasn't. I probably look completely stupid by now, and I'm really sorry for that, but I'm doing my best to actually catch up to where we are right now and who is where, especially on Spa, one of my favorite tracks. It's so much fun to race here. Doesn't matter if it's a sprint or endurance race, you always will have fun on the iconic track in Belgium. That was a bit wide through Blanchimont. I'm pretty sure that WEC won't say anything, because nowadays track limits, probably all heard that, have not been the best this year. Let's say it like that. So, Army and I think, who was that in the background? It was really hard to just tell from looking at it. Oh, that was a bit wide into the last chicane. We see Rat catching up immediately. So That opens up the inside. Oh, blocking here, not giving away any space there on the right. So Red had to go through the grass. Not ideal. I'm pretty sure like that the marshals would normally say something about it, but we sent them off. It's weekends. It's Sunday. They're not working today. So everyone gets their shot at such maneuvers right now. But that was very close there. Not nice to get shuffled away from start-finish straight. According to results, Jimmy Broadbent still in the lead in front of Jardier now, and Emily Jones down to third. And this is GamerMuscle against, oh dear, I'll probably get that wrong. No, that might be Cyanide. Because Maxime is last, Dave Gaming is in fifth. Oh, Maxime's car, as the Brits would say, mint condition, never been abused, only rolled once. I mean, it's even missing the rear window. Wow. That was harsh. Something really bad happened to that car. Don't worry, Porsches hold their value really good, so it will still be bring in some money on the market after this race. So Yamato can probably sell that one off. Let's see what happens on. I guess this should be last lap. With Jimmy Broadbent still in the lead, Jardier following closely, so that will be 10 points for Jimmy Broadbent and 8 for Jardier. Points they really need because they're down by 13 points, 26 to 13, before we went into the iRacing session here. So they're doing a good job in catching up and making sure that for the next race, which after this one will be Trackmania, everything might be fully balanced out. So Trackmania, one of the games deciding basically before we head over to ACC, which once again gives us a new class of racing that will be very interesting to see. Now that today they have to cope with a lot of different cars, that's for sure. Always see this fight still going on. This could be Cyanide versus, I have to rethink, is that maybe, it's not Jardier, or is it? Well, we're on board now with Team Green. This is GamerMuscle, all right. And then could be Cyanide on the back. Oh, Blanchimont, look at that, how close he came there. Slipstream really worked well, was able to hold on to the line there, not losing the car. That was crucial, but the inside is blocked by GamerMuscle, muscling through there from the rear. Now both cars are stuck into each other. We basically create a one. Look at that. If you don't have enough space for two Porsches, they're great. You can fold them into each other, and then you can store them away easily. That wing is gone, so that's the second wing already we're losing today because Green lost one in the Carrera challenge with the DTM cars. And now Red lost one here in iRacing, and Jimmy Broadbent takes the win for Team Green in front of Jardier and then Emily Jones. So Emily, highest scoring Red driver here on iRacing, making sure that they at least get home with these 6 points from the podium. Obviously, we go down to 1 point, still at 8th, so everyone gets points. And seems like these two want to say something to each other. Good that we're not hearing the entire voice chat. Sometimes sim racers can get quite angry. It's all about the passion in racing. But that was a fun race. It's what we saw for the first time that now the teams get a bit more aggressive, more blocking, more defensive lines. Now that we're in the second title of tonight, I wonder if it will be like that once we're heading over to ACC, because time trial in Trackmania will be a completely different story. So there will be no blocking lines. There won't be any strategy of sort of that's the same for a qualifying grid. You will hear more on that later, how it's actually done in Trackmania, because it is slightly different to what we saw on iRacing and F1 2020 so far. Frost, are the captains happy about what happened this time?
I think I'm not sure what happened. I did like it, but I'm not sure what happened. Green did take it away, though, Yamato. So we have that much. Yeah?
I'm happy about that, but I'm not happy about the bullying that Team Red is doing on the course.
Oh, come on. You need to try something. I mean, we were behind, like we needed to make up some ground, so it can get dirty sometimes. That's fine.
I almost want to bet, like I want confirmation, but I think it was Emily that was playing bumper cars.
I'm very confused. Just as the casters, I was quite confused because I couldn't quite make out, outside of Jimmy, who was clearly in first place, what was happening there in the middle, because immediately even Red and 3 and 4 got overtaken, I saw, and then it was very interesting.
Yeah, much less of the slipstream usage and much more about trying to block. There were a lot more fights, a lot more aggression. Yamato now has a working microphone. Test.
I think I kept it muted, so.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now on this one?
Yeah, we can. I think you muted it because he was trying to think about strategies for his team, and he didn't want me to hear before, so
I see.
he
Trying to talk on board to them?
Yeah.
My bad.
It's all good. It's all good.
Technology, always.
I want to see what the score is, because I think we're all very confused about what happened.
So I'm told that they're working the score out now.
Okay.
I think the immediate takeaways, at least personally for me, like, don't get me wrong, F1's great. I much prefer to watch this style.
This was also cool, yeah.
I love the Porsches. I think that they look beautiful. And as rAiii was talking about, very compact. Just fold in on top of each other. Just smash them both together.
Yeah, you can just go. They can withstand a bit of damage as well, which was cool. You could see that you could really get in there. I also love the scenic shots. I just felt like I was on a track. The trees, the nature, and everything for Team Green. That obviously worked out very well.
I liked how the wing flew off. Is it called the wing?
I don't know.
The thing
You're talking about the fin on the back.
Yeah. The fin. It fell off in the game, the same as it fell off for us.
When we were doing before. That's so funny. Yeah, for sure.
Keeping it true to the captain. Okay, so we're about to get some answers. We have Tom standing by on an interview with Jardier.
Yes, you do have me standing by, technically sat down, actually on a kneeling chair, but let's not get to specifics. Let's talk to this man. Everyone on Twitch said you were the master, the sensei, and you were the monster. Jardier, welcome. How sweaty was that race for you?
Actually, hello, thank you so much for having me. It was absolutely sweaty because me and Jimmy were saying, like, this is unbelievable. The Formula 1 game was like driving like very chilly and around, but the iRacing is so hard that I was dropping sweat all over me. I need to change the shirt already, after one race.
Oh, man. But listen, 2 more disciplines coming up. Jardier, what was that like? Because Emily Jones right behind you, there was a moment where she came off track, rejoined, let you overtake again. What was it like having someone that skilled behind you?
Yeah, we all knew that Emily will be the fastest in iRacing, and because that's probably her strongest game. And she immediately took charge. In the first lap, I made a mistake. I got a slowdown penalty, so I lost all the positions. And I knew I have to try to hold her as long as possible. But luckily for me, she made a mistake coming into the chicane. She missed the braking and cut the corner and had to give the time back. And I was able to pull away. And yeah, then we had 3-second gap, and it was just staying on the track, don't crash, don't make any mistake.
Yeah, you didn't make any mistakes. I mean, a lot of people were saying it was sort of interesting, hashtag a wreckfest. That's what it came across as, but still super fun. You delivered for your team, Team Green. What's it like having Jimmy Broadbent in your team?
Oh, we race Jimmy several races per year, so we are kind of used to it. But it's obviously it's a big guy, big celebrity in a sim racing. So we were trying to just make everything work and everything all right,
Yeah, well, you're definitely doing that. And also, if I was to give an award for the most adorable person racing today, that would be you, my friend. Absolutely adorable. But Veloce Esports. I think
say more, please.
Also, the sweatiest racer. No, I won't say that. What I will say is Veloce Esports mentioned on Twitch earlier on. Less talk on racing, more on hairstyles. Who do you think, out of all the competitors today, has the best hairstyle?
I think 100% Dave Gaming, right?
Oh, it's beautiful. So let's look ahead. Representing your team going into Trackmania, what are your skills on with Trackmania?
I played the game 15 minutes probably ever in my life, 3 hours ago. So yes, not looking very forward, but I hope it's gonna be good fun. All
right then. All right, well, Jardier, congratulations on finishing second in iRacing there at Spa. Indiana, Frostgren, he's an expert, is Jardier, when it comes to Trackmania.
Yeah, hear that loud and clear. Yamato, that's a pro tip, straight from the horse's mouth.
Nice. I've never played that racing game in the back, and I won. So maybe 50 minutes is all it takes to
Maybe.
master
By the way, the
trackmania.
charisma on Team Green, excluding the captain, obviously, but Jimmy now, Jardier, how do you correctly pronounce it? It's so hard.
I try to just kind of like push through it. It's like one of those words where I'm like,
Jardier.
okay, push through all the way. I think it's Jardier. We'll say it wrong.
We'll need to listen to him and get like a little Chardonnay. Also very sweet and awesome. No, great interview though. Even though it's competitive, it's cool to see kind of how to get into a new series. I was sweating. It was so difficult just trying not to go off the track because everyone's trying to push him. Emily tried to push him there as well. A very exciting race.
Yeah, I would have to say for me, that was the MVP moment, trying to hold off the real animal on the course there in Emily for as long as possible. So clutch factor for Green Team. Now we do have the standings ready for us so we can see the damage done and see if Sjokz still holds a lead. So, okay, it was correct. Caster rAiii didn't get thrown off too poorly
we
there.
came in clutch there in the middle.
Yeah. Cyanide really showing up for you. Emily and Cyanide. There you go.
rAiii.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, but this is, he made up points. Come on.
I'm happy.
He made up 4 points.
What?
He made up...
No, he made up tons of points, no?
No, because look, you took 17 from iRacing, he took 22. Made 5 points.
Made up. Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
But he I think he did well. The gap is closing, is what we say in League of Legends very, very often.
That's not a good...
But it never happens, so that's good for me.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
So.
Let me break this down. You're the LCK right now. He's the LPL.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so you're gonna overtake at the end. We'll see.
Okay, our next title is going to be Trackmania, a very different style of game. So let's check it out.
Trackmania lives up to its reputation as an ultra-flashy and exciting racing game. No matter if you skate over ice, make a monstrous jump, or get boosted over a crest, everything is possible in the endless madness that is Trackmania. Being fast is just as essential to the gameplay of Trackmania as its fast-paced playstyle. Most of the time, you go around at high speeds and try to avoid collisions while trying for the best time possible. If you really enjoy Trackmania, you are able to build your own tracks and test your skills on uniquely shaped circuits created by yourself. Over the years, many versions of Trackmania have been released, but this iteration of the game seems to be the most thought through and perfected yet. Trackmania is no stranger to esports either. Disregarding the arcade nature of the game, tournaments like the Trackmania Grand League attract the eyes of smaller but very dedicated communities.
Have you guys played Trackmania?
Oh, just looking at that made me dizzy. Those
No,
loopy-de-loops.
I haven't played, but I caught a bit of the esports action before because it is, in fact, like as said, a very passionate fan base, and it's one of those household names right now. Trackmania.
It's essentially kind of like the Demon Souls of racing games, and that you're supposed to crash a lot until you kind of perfect it. Then it turns into kind of like a bullet hell game where you kind of memorize patterns.
That just made it
okay. So that does mean it. So basically, what you're saying is okay. So
All
it's
right,
like. You really have to know the tracks, and if you know the track, then you could do it blind. Basically, you can just
A feature that's built into it is to quickly reset, and there's checkpoints because it's about going as fast as possible. But the courses are crazy, so it's expected that you like crash until you master it, and then you just
nowhere to go. Okay, interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's funny to me because it's so interesting that it's like a completely different style of racing than the two we just saw. And I think it progressively got a bit more wild because, of course, when we have the F1 2020, it's like the actual very strategic, measured out movements. And we went on to iRacing where we saw there was a little bit of bumping and grinding here and there.
Very
trying to push people off the track, and now it's just all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, and there is no starting grid for Trackmania because it is a time trial-based game. But we do have interviews standing by anyway. Okay. I believe it's GamerMuscle and rAiii. So let's go ahead and peek in, get some expertise. Guys, can you hear me okay? I'll take that as a no.
Hello?
One day.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Perfect.
Hey.
No, we can't hear you.
Oh, you can? Oh, no.
No.
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, yes.
Got you now. There we go.
Communicate via sign language.
Yay, we made it. Hello.
Hello.
Perfect. So my captains here are virgins to Trackmania, and now I ask the same question to you guys. Are you guys ready for Trackmania? Do you got the inside scoop for them?
I'm ready. I'm ready. I've got my tea. I'm charged, fully charged, and I've had a bit of a gap from Trackmania. I have to admit, it's been a few years. Trackmania Sunrise, going all the way back. That's where it started, 2006. But yeah, a bit rusty. So we're gonna have to get the oil out, and hopefully the rust moves off, and we get a good time.
This is a family show, GamerMuscle.
I didn't say anything. Well, I don't know what's going on in your head.
And rAiii, do you play a lot of Trackmania, or is it a pastime?
No, the predecessor, Trackmania Turbo, I played a lot, but that's 4 years ago. And this title I played on the release, and then never before. So it's my comeback in Trackmania. But I think Trackmania is the most hyped game of all of us. So yeah, let's forward. Let's move forward.
Well, right. We can't help you in this department because it's a time trial, but it means that it solely depends on the trash talk before the game. So what can you say to GamerMuscle to completely disrupt his preparation?
Don't let him do that, GamerMuscle. Step in, GamerMuscle.
Yeah, first of all, Trackmania has no collisions. That's a big achievement for Team Red, because Team Green drove in iRacing like iRacing was really rough, and so now it's other challenge. It's quite focused, and you said it already. It's the Dark Souls of racing, because you have over and over to compete it better, and you fail a lot. But I'm looking forward to it. And one big changer is most of us drive with wheels in the other games, and now the most of us change to a pad. And I think the skills with the pad is also different between all competitors.
Interesting.
So maybe that's a good chance for me.
Mr. Muscle, you need to clap back. You can't just you
let's
can't let
be
him talk to you
real
like
here.
that.
The reality is the green team have this in the bag. We were playing games before this. Now we are playing the ultimate simulator. And I know Jardier's got this. Sorry, Gerard's got this. Jimmy's got this. Maxime's got this. But no one on the red team's got this. So
excuse you.
Don't worry about the contacts. We don't need that. We're going to ghost all the way to victory. It's going to be wild. Ugh. And yes, hold on to your seatbelts.
Okay.
Well,
there
nice
was
Christmas tree, by the way.
Yeah, it was.
Fishmas tree. It's got the fish on it.
Oh, really?
As all Fishmas trees should.
The charisma.
I have so many questions, but first we need answers. Thank you so much, rAiii and GamerMuscle. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck warming up for your race. Now, captains, it is time for our next qualifier race.
I thought it was a time trial.
It is a time trial, but we still have to torture you.
Oh, gosh.
That's actually in the contract.
I was like, oh, no. Oh, yes, we get a break from actually having to compete.
Oh, no, never. But this one's a little bit interesting, so let's go ahead and just examine it.
Is there a better way to get ready for Trackmania than playing some Rocket League? Well, probably yes. But there is no other way to get extra points for our upcoming Trackmania races than excelling at our real-life Rocket League version. Yes, you heard right. In this challenge, our captains will take control of RC cars, getting support from one additional member in the form of our host or caster. Who would you pick? Here we have a 2v2 match of who wins in a best-of-3 auto ball. As the name in comparison to Rocket League may suggest, it's basically football with cars. The rules are fairly simple. Each match is 2 minutes long, and the team which scored the most goals when the timer reaches 0 wins. The first team to take 2 matches gets crowned the winner and gets 3 additional points in Trackmania.
Go red.
I think that Frosk might know more about this, but it may be wrong.
No, okay, yeah, great. I'm picking up.
I made a horrible mistake.
I would have, really.
Okay. Time out,
I
guys.
just didn't want to. It's COVID.
Well, calm down. Okay. It's
live.
real life Rocket League.
Right.
I'm assuming that we pick up the controllers. You just saw the video. It's 2 minutes. They're going to put a little football in the middle.
Can you reach that?
Yeah.
It's far. Okay, thank
Here
you.
you are.
Ah, this is the whole thing.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. So we've decided that we're teaming up now. It's 2v2. Oh no. Green versus red. Girls are in red, guys are in...
Wait. Can we get a little warm up? Because I don't want what happened last time with Is there a back?
Oh,
No.
I watched
Yeah, is
Fast
there
and
a
Furious.
reverse?
I have to say
Oh, no,
meter
there
and a
is a
half away
reverse.
from me. Oh, is there a reverse?
No, I don't think so.
What do we do if we flip?
Look, I'm stuck. Is there a reverse? Can anyone in production tell me that?
Apparently pulling the trigger forward.
What?
This.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
What? My reverse doesn't work. Okay, we're hand holding. Okay, give us the football, let's go. What? Okay, you animals, calm down. Sjokz, come back. Okay, you may now enter Sjokz.
Yes.
Okay, 3 rounds.
Wait.
2 minutes.
Wait. I want to be in a decent position.
You guys are gonna take his hand off. Okay, go.
Wait, we're going?
Yep. Oh no.
No.
I'm so confused.
My car doesn't reverse. I only have one direction.
No! Go back!
Can I get an adult to reset me?
No! No, you neither. Oh!
Sjokz, kick me out.
Yes. It was goal. Referee.
Well, how are you stuck in the thing?
Because I don't have a reverse. I have one direction. Okay.
Don't ever give me a driver's license.
Yeah, apparently.
Are you winning, Renee?
Are you winning, son?
Believe
Come
me, I'm
on,
trying.
guys.
Did we score? Did it count?
No. I need another adult. Yes. Sjokz, go. Wait, no. Can I get out of the corner?
Oh, holy!
No!
Woo, I'm out. Okay.
Yes! Oh my god!
Okay. Sjokz. Oh no.
Yes! No! Better spill ball.
No!
No! How hard is this game? How hard is any game?
I don't think I touched the ball at all.
Guys,
You were just like spinning.
guys, I'm being told that Blues won.
Yeah.
On the right side, there's no grid this time, so this was just for bragging
No, he
rights.
got points. He got points.
Points?
Yeah, I think so.
He got 5 points?
We got 5 points?
2.
But it's a best of 3?
Nobody knows the rules. This is a best of 3?
Yes. There's still hope for us.
All right, but can we get both? So can we get the cars? I'm sorry I'm going all mommy on this, but can we get like 2 cars here and then the 2 cars there?
Okay, we're in position.
Wait, okay, but I'm getting so confused.
Wait,
guys.
so what's the score?
Okay, you got 5 points. It's a best of 3. So you can take a total of 15 points if you win all 3.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, and that's important to you because you're down by a significant number of points.
Okay, Renee.
Okay, I'm sorry,
Do the
Sjokz. We
thing.
got
Do
this.
the thing.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Woo!
Is that 1?
That's 1.
It just never goes back to the middle?
Did they score?
Go, Sjokz.
I'm trying to back.
I can't reverse. Push me out.
No, you can't just do this.
Referee,
No,
what
it
was
doesn't
that?
work.
I'm gonna act goalkeeper. Okay?
No!
I'm goalkeeper.
Yamato, kick me out!
Yes!
Yamato, kick me! Thank you. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, there's beef in the red team.
Oh my god! We got a fatality! My car is upside down.
No!
Yo!
This is so difficult to control. Oh,
No!
Oh my god!
Have we ever actually scored?
I think we've scored one. Yeah.
Sjokz, hit me!
Wait. This is wild. This is wild.
This is so insanely hard.
Yeah, this is hand-eye coordination, and also like, if I turn, I can't do the gas for some reason.
Okay, wait, no, we got this?
Yo.
Yes!
Referee, revive us.
Woo! Okay, Sjokz and I are on the board. This is 1-2. Did we lose? We won! We won!
Sure. Sure. Yo, okay, I want all of this at home. This is all so much fun, but this is incredible. How? I can never get it. I don't get it.
Tell me how it reverses.
Yeah, I can't touch that. Like this. You just go forward.
Look, I have no
press
clue.
it. Forward.
I am.
I believe you.
You are right.
I believe you.
You're right.
If you tell me.
Okay, producers, is it tied? Is it 1-1?
Yeah, it's 1-1 for the sake of the competition.
Maybe if we are closer, the connection is better.
Okay, the best of 3 is now in a 1-1, so this is the game decider.
All right.
Oh!
Actually, yes.
Oh,
so much better.
This is OP.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, because now I'm looking to the side and I'm trying to turn this thing and do this back. I don't know. You need like to be Einstein to be able to do this. This is incredible.
Wait, does it work when I... Come here, car. Come here, car.
Can we...
Come here, car.
What's the steering trim?
Oh, we have drop ball.
It's not centered automatically.
Oh.
But it is centered, right? I mean, it's right.
Why does mine work sometimes and not other times? What the?
God said start again, I heard.
Kind sir, will you please release me? Go, Sjokz!
Oh, what a save!
No! Go! I've got him locked up!
No! No! How hard is this game?
I'm doing absolutely nothing.
I took the wrong teammate, bro. No offense, Frost.
What? My car is busted!
No! No! I absolutely lost the plot.
We gotta make 2 goals up. Let's go.
You know, if we could just find a way forward, I'm sure we can make it.
Wait, we're in the lead. Should we just hold? Yeah.
Okay. I'm going in.
I'm blocking it. I'm blocking it. We block it. Block it. Corner the ball. Hold the line.
This is some PG-13 car action. Let's come on, referee.
No, ref, this is.
Bro.
No worries. We're parking the bus. We're parking the bus. I'm getting violated by this car.
Ref, this has to be cheating.
Well, I'm in the goal. I'm in the goal at least.
Score another one? All right. If I knew how to get it out of here, like...
Oh, you reset the ball now with 9 seconds left?
Yeah, wow.
Oh, no. I think it's time.
I've got the spinning down. Oh no.
So,
that was the equivalent of doing this.
I've got some bad news, Sjokz. We did not win.
Nah.
I think it was 2-1 to rAiii and Yamato. I think that means what? Do you make 10 points now? Can I get confirmation from
That is broken. Come on. We're not professional in real life Rocket League players.
My card doesn't even work. I feel like I was at a massive handicap here. Okay. I believe now we have Tom on standby while we clean up the cars. So, Tom, what'd you make of our expert driving?
I figured out that.
Listen, it was very entertaining. Thank you very much. It brought a lot of laughter and fun to my lounge. I may have checked on Twitter and caught up with a bit of admin, but nonetheless, it's not about who won. It's about the taking part that counts, obviously. Listen, Rocket League are very worried that people are going to start following that in real life. I'm loving the Twitch comments that are coming through. Some really great stuff. People are saying, come on, Jardier, let's have this in the next race in Trackmania. Also, Noxie says, if you like bread, cheer for Team Red. Thanks a lot, Noxie. Loving that. And also, Veloce Esports talked about hair, but Mary DeCherry says, I love Frostgrin's jacket. So we're getting some clothing compliments going on tonight as well. People were talking about sandwiches a little bit earlier on. And Jimmy Broadbent, aka Old Jimmer, they're missing him streaming right now. But listen, brilliant stuff. Looking forward to Trackmania. And of course, after that, we will have Assetto Corsa Competizione. And then we will be crowning a champion. A lot of good stuff. Now, after watching rAiii, but really carry the team there, I am hoping he is feeling confident and good back in the commentary area, ready for the next races. Did you enjoy that, rAiii?
I definitely enjoyed it. If I feel confident afterwards, I'm not quite sure, because that was hard, really. If you're out there and you think, like, these guys have absolutely no clue, no coordination, it was really, really tough. That was a slippery surface. I basically need all the excuses I can get from football, so just bring in random interviews here where they have excuses for bad results, but at least I was able to bring Team Green back into the action, basically, when we now head into Trackmania. And Trackmania is a completely different story, and it's a crazy game. I mean, it was played in ESWC back then. It was played in many different iterations. I once raced it blind with someone behind me telling me where to drive. So Trackmania is completely crazy. I absolutely love the tracks. And there's obviously ghosting, as you can see, so it's all time trial. You can run through others, and this is the track we will be hanging on to for tonight. A lot of jumps. You see there's a huge gap in there where Maxime just dropped down, gone, bye-bye, go into hell, never return, basically. So this was just warm-up, don't worry, and they will obviously respawn once they drop down there, but they want to have the best lap time in these 4 minutes per track that they have to figure out how to drive this. We heard it a bit already regarding how to approach this. You want to know the track, and then you really want to be super precise. If you're watching this and you're not familiar to Trackmania, believe me, there's a huge community and a huge competitive scene, especially in France, for example, where they have big live championships. Obviously, that was before we had Corona and all that. So there are big events in Trackmania. It's a very passionate group of players holding on to this title. It is a ton of fun. If you didn't try it out yet, just check it out. I think this new version is even for free. Oh, beautiful jump there into the finish line, because it's still racing, but it is different, and that's good. Like, we sometimes like to get away from hardcore sim racing, where it's basically replicating the real world every single time. This is not the real world, but it's very fun. Maxime basically looking like a Max Verstappen livery, I have to say. That could be the next Red Bull livery for 2021. Cyanide right in front of that. Let's see, 43.6, the best time for Maxime right now. rAiii seems to be the quickest on Trackmania so far, but Dave Gaming right behind that, and then GamerMuscle only 0.2 of a second off. So seems like everyone got grips on this game very fast. It is a short track, as we can see from the lap times, 43 seconds. Here with Maxime, while she does another approach. Life ranking now shows Emily Jones, wow, in front by even a second here for the red team. So I tried to give some points to Green with my all-to-ball expertise, but they still have to do it themselves here on this track at Trackmania. As you probably remember from the video, you can create these tracks yourself, so that's a cool creative way of living out your racing dreams, or sometimes nightmare, because I saw some Trackmania tracks and really thinking whoever created that was probably just hunting for the best experience to torture people everywhere around the globe. That's basically what it is. Cyanide now 43.1 for him so far. He crosses the line again. Let's see. Nope, that brings him to 8th position. Not great at all. Jimmy Broadbent second now, if I spotted that correctly there. So it seems like Jimmer is actually also good in Trackmania. I mean, he can race everything that has a steering wheel, right? As I said previously, it happened with him on real racetracks. When he touches the rim, he knows what to do, and he's really good at it. So look out for him in whatever game it is. There comes the Brit over the line. And was this the quickest time? No, that was 3rd place for him, 39.176. While he goes for another try. They can obviously relaunch like Jimmy just did whenever they want. Emily Jones still first, rAiii second, Jardier third, and then Jimmy Broadbent fourth right now. So looking good for Team Red with first and a second. So they're getting a lot of points here if it stays like that. They still have 58 seconds to go in this first race, while Jimmy is on to another. I really wonder, does he wear his production gloves also while racing with a controller? I would love to know that. Is that a thing, Jimmy? Like, we need to actually send that to him and figure out if he can show his hands, how he's playing there, if he's wearing those gloves or not. Let's see, there's rAiii with the German car, obviously representing the Pixelhelden. Oh, look at his face, like, oh, that was not really what I was going for. So you have to use the banking here. This is basically trying to go through the chicane with the least amount of steering input, then having the right exit to basically straight line this one here, go over the jump. You probably want to have this a bit more earlier, right? Earlier into the corner there to basically flinch it into this one. But nowhere near an expert on Trackmania. Just now that I tried to let it sound like that, I'm sorry, because I know that there are many Trackmania experts and fast racing drivers out there, so don't judge me, please. Emily Jones takes the win for Red. That means scoring big for Red once again, because it's 1 and 2 for Red. Great job here, look at that. And then Jardier is the first green driver on 3, Jimmy Broadbent on 4, Dave Gaming, another Red driver on 5, GamerMuscle on 6. So, is Trackmania one of those games where Team Red can build on their lead, or could Yamato's team finally come back here? Did he draft the right team? And I really wonder, if they are all from League of Legends and there was a drafting phase, was there a banning phase? Did someone ban Maximilian Benneke before this one? Because I really wonder why no one picked him. But here we go, second race. We are on Cyanide for this one. Let's have a quick look at how this track actually flows. Bit more open first sector than the previous one. Talking about open, that was a huge banked oval part there that lets you end up in the trees if you're not really concentrated. And then this park time, look at that. There's this chicane through the park, basically Central Park, but in worse in terms of pathing. And off they go. Maxime waiting, probably wants an open track, because even though they're ghosts, you obviously see them, and they could potentially distract you from racing. We got GamerMuscle in the picture-in-picture, and on our screen we have Cyanide, who's racing with a German livery. Is he representing Balapal Motorsport? If so, kudos to you, Cyanide. I really appreciate that. I might even reconsider throwing you out after your performance on F1 2020. All right, so that was not the right entry there. It's trying over and over again to get around here. Look at that. It's not easy. You want to... Oh, that looked really good. All the grip available there, and then through straight line, because you see the speeds on those cars. You can see that in the digits on the rear of the car. So it's really high speed, and you want to maintain that momentum and really going through the corners, basically flashing through everything. but you can also drift these cars, and you always have to decide, is it a corner I can do with maybe one steering input, or one steering angle, and then just push through it? Or do I want to slide the car a bit and let it run wide to then get a better exit? So Emily Jones winning race 1 or track 1 on Trackmania. How does she do on the second one? Currently only in 7th. Jardier is leading 14 green. So Emily Jones definitely wants to have a comeback. That's an interesting shortcut she found there. Is that... It's okay, that's nice. Okay, great. Good run through the chicane there. Amazingly straighten out that corner. That worked very well. And then over the jump, probably a bit of braking needed here to hit the second jump and then go through. And that should be the lead. No, it wasn't so far. That was second place, right behind Jardier. So Emily Jones really showing that she can do Trackmania, and yeah, if she's up for cool events, then Trackmania is definitely something to go for. Was that the lead though? No, it was also second place, so not enough yet for Rhett to really keep that in mind. It's probably not looking like normal competitive Trackmania looks like, because I'll tell you, the people that race this on a high level, they are crazy. Their reactions is unbelievable. How they memorize the entire tracks and the flow of these corners and how to actually get the cars through there and when to slide, when not to, when to bounce. It's just impressive. Like, we so often talk about hardcore sim racing and how hard it is to do everything right, and weight transitioning and setup and tires and manage all of that. That's one thing. Being fast at Trackmania, even if it to many people look like a simplified racing game, isn't easy at all. There's so much to this, so please keep that in mind. Check it out yourself. It's an amazing title. Emily, once again with that shortcut there, that was quite quick. While Dave Gaming now is in second. No, he isn't. He's in fourth, actually. But while I say that, rAiii actually gets it. So Pixel Game is back on fourth, Maxime on fifth, GamerMuscle on sixth, and then Cyanide only on seventh. For Team Red, if he wants to help his team scoring strong here and make sure that they're in the best position before going through to ACC for our races there in Assetto Corsa Competizione, then he has to become a bit quicker. I mean, these tires are on fire already, so rubber is hot, but the lap time isn't. While we have the last 40 seconds for these. So let's see if that works out. Dave Gaming once again wanted to go through there and then tap the wall on the left. That got him off track and then into the right wall. That didn't really work well. He's laughing about it. He's not getting a second shot due to the lap time. So that's very unfortunate for him here. While Cyanide still tries, but he won't be able to finish this one. Oh, I thought they need to go up there, but they don't. It's correct down there. It's really hard. Like, if you never saw the tracks before, I think that's always the biggest challenge for me when I started Trackmania, like public racing, because there are a lot of public servers out there, and you can just jump into it, which is nice, because that's a huge difference to normal sim racing. Jardier takes it. That's good. So Team Green at least scoring 10 points there on the very last track. Emily Jones in second, really showcasing her skill in Trackmania. rAiii in third, Dave Gaming in fourth, GamerMuscle in fifth, Maxime sixth, Cyanide, Jimmy Broadbent. You saw that? Jimmy got even dropped below the observer. Was it that bad? Can't imagine that. We know that Jimmy can do it, so don't worry about that at all. Trackmania, so that I'm not quite sure. I think Rat should be scoring stronger so far. Obviously, they do another track, so it might change it, but so far I would give it to Team Rat, even though Jardier took second race. So let's see. They're coming through this once again. Look at these. In Germany, we would say Ludwig-Teller in the middle of a chicane to actually make sure that people can't cut over that. With that high curve, really hard. A lot of small jumps this time. Feels a bit like a typical motocross or supercross track inside the holes. While we're on board with Maxime, once again waiting, making sure that there's no other car around so she can fully concentrate on hers. I think the downside for me in this is if you're waiting on the first lap and you don't know the track, you won't have a chance to see others how they do. And sometimes, at least me, it helps a lot. But I'm also a noob in this, so I'm probably not really great to judge this here. Maxime coming through, that looked nice and clean. Not that much speed. You see it here how she slides a bit more often. It is different grip levels depending on the surface they're on. And that also has to, they have to adjust their style in this here. Maximo 37. That was a nice barrel roll though. No additional points for trick flipping or anything. So that won't really help. rAiii having the same issue, getting onto 2 tires, but keeping it the right way around. This side up, right? That is just, yeah, talking about this side up, it rolls in on the roof, restarting again. Trackmania is one of these games that on one side, it can frustrate you a lot because you want to do it right, you know how to do it, but something happens along the way. And on the other hand, it always keeps you addicted to try again. It's like, okay, it didn't work out this time, I want to do it next time, and then you try over and over again. All of a sudden it's 5 a.m. in the morning and you realize that you were awake way too long. Basically a typical games day with Trackmania, I would say. So rAiii leading in front of Jardier, so that's red in front of green, then Cyanide on third right now. Well, I say that Emily Jones jumps on there. I hope that's actually the full result. Otherwise, people out there probably are slaughtering me already. No, it can't be. That is the sector time. All right. Figuring out while we go at this. This is slightly different to when you raise yourself. I have to say that. Emily Jones, was that the finish time? I really would like to see that. 57.148. Yeah, when the best was 59 there, then 57 is currently our leading time by Emily Jones. So there we at, which means every single time we go through a sector, it actually updates the bottom right, and then we know how you did on that specific sector, not on the overall ranking. Sorry it took that long for me to notice. I was focused on the screen and was just happy that we got an overlay that tells me everything. Not like we just had, right? Okay, Jardier will add it once again. We still have 1 minute 20 seconds to go. rAiii was the quickest in that sector before. That was 10 seconds, probably the first sector. Oh, GamerMuscle. I'm so happy that collisions are off. Otherwise, it would have hit another car there. Nearly. By the way, you can also have collisions on. So if you think, oh, Ghost Racing, that's kind of not my style. Oh, Trackmania can give you all kinds of modes to actually race. There's even a community out there racing this like Formula 1 Grand Prix. So they're having full-fledged tracks and qualification and a long racing session where they actually race each other. So it's not like this time trial where we restart, but instead it's a classic race mode, I would say. So there's something in Trackmania for absolutely everyone. And I think my first Trackmania was Nations, and even doing all these small challenges to get gold here and there is really rewarding, I would say. So I like that. I just like games that give you a chance to get into it and try to figure out. Obviously, you have the leaderboard then and the world records, which are, by the way, crazily fast on everything. GamerMuscle hitting it. Look at his face. He's like, I did it again. But I'd rather have him hitting these than singing again. We saw that in the introduction video. I'm not sure if we can cope with that again. It's Emily Jones winning another match for Team Red. So that's 2 out of 3 for her and Team Red here. Great, great job. Absolutely love that. Jardier also making sure that green is in the top 3 with a win and I think a second. He got that 2 times. rAiii on third. Mixed results, and I have to say, with not having an overview about everyone behind that, I'm not even sure if it's red or green that got the most points out of it. I would say it's red. I won't calculate it now because we all know this will never work, and in the end, everyone will laugh and is even more confused. So I will wait for the official results and confirmation there. But Yamato, he got a lot of points from Autoball. I'm not saying that I'm carried him there, but I hope that will be enough to catch up, right?
Yeah, that's the hope there. Thank you so much, rAiii. Excellent casting on the day. You've done now 3 different titles. I'm just very, very impressed as a caster myself. And speaking of impressive, Emily Jones and Trackmania. I've talked to you before about it, but just in case you don't know, we have a leaderboard. We do the hot lap in Nitro Nights, and Emily Jones holds the record at 50 seconds, 0.753, I believe. So she came in clutch for Sjokz.
Unbelievable, really, Emily. I mean, I knew she was going to be good, but it seems like she's also good in iRacing as well as Trackmania, and those are 2 very different games, which leads me to believe that she's probably just a natural at many of these games.
Also, Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo, of course, finalist. So, yeah, I'm really hyped, especially seeing how it's like 4 a.m. for her right now over there. So, yeah, Emily, thank you for saving your captain's ass, who's really not doing good in these challenges. I owe you one.
As we say in League of Legendos, she's cracked.
Cracked. Really good stuff.
She has to be better the next game, right? She has to be.
Theoretically.
I think that's the law.
That's the law.
That's
But
the law.
hey, we don't know the final tally though, because even though she did take number 1 and had the best time, it might be that the green team just fills out the rest of the roster. So we'll have to see.
So we're going to go ahead and look at some highlights. What did you guys think of Trackmania? I know that was probably your first experience with it.
Very cool. As said, I'd seen a bit here and there, but it's just so incredibly fast-paced and so punishing. There really is no way to save if you go off the track just a little bit.
That's why it feels like Demon Souls. It's
yeah,
like you
it
die
does.
a lot.
It does. It is so incredibly difficult, but awesome to see, really.
I think this would be my type of game if I go into racing myself and started to play, because it's just the speed. I like the speed. I like the fact that, just as you explained it, that it's just you can reset quickly and improve quickly.
Mhm.
I think, I get addicted to games that I'm very, very shit at, and I think I'm terrible at this, and yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
addiction.
it's kind of like a hard learning curve. I think it's the kind of game where you're like, I'll be great at this, and then you're really awful, and then you just keep going at it, and then eventually you just know the tracks so well that you almost just can do it with a blindfold on, let's say. But we did see that here as well. Like Emily, she knows everything. She knows how to navigate. After she's gone through it once, she knows where her mistakes are and how she can correct. And much of the others as well. We just got to look at most of Emily's gameplay.
It has really great physics and kind of feel to it. I think that's like my biggest thing with arcade racers. Like you think about like your need for speeds and things like that. It's kind of like every car has a feeling, and you know how it's going to drift. You know how fast it's going to go. And Trackmania makes you feel like you are going very quickly, and then it's about how quickly you can figure out the physics system as well as memorizing the courses. And it just feels very smooth, a very polished product. And then you can, of course, make your own racetrack. So we already saw some crazy ones. If you really wanted to, Yamato, you could get into like the designer and, I don't know, make your favorite Hot Wheels course.
I also think that it's one of those where you're like, if you make a mistake, you just keep trying, and you might be like, you might spend a whole evening just crashing into things and going again and again and again and again. I like that aspect of it, like the grind and trying to get better.
And speaking of crashing into things, Tom has GamerMuscle on standby. Gamer was struggling a little bit with some of those hurdles, but maybe he has something else to say.
Do I have anything to say? It didn't go too well. Could have gone better. Disappointed. Yeah.
But listen, can I just say, your Fishmas tree is absolutely legit, and using the words of Frostgrin, it's cracked. That Fishmas tree is cracked.
Cracked? Where are they from? Where's that saying from?
League of Legends, I believe, but epic stuff from you. Talk to me about Trackmania. Is it something that you'll take up? Because last time in Clash of Racers, all of the drivers competing then loved it, and they thought, you know what, this is something I'm going to give a bit more of my time to.
No, Trackmania it's an absolutely fantastic game because you've got the whole track learning thing and then the actual driving mechanics, and you can really get into it and really take it seriously. And weirdly, taking the actual apexes and where you brake and stuff actually translates to normal race driving and simulators as well in a weird way. So I've always sort of been a fan of it, but it kind of stays at, you get locked into the driving sims and you forget about the awesomeness that is Trackmania. So.
Yeah, and it's not as if we're making it easier for you, GamerMuscle, because now we're throwing you back into Assetto, Corsa, Competizione. So then your mind is all over the shop. It's like a heptathlon. It's like basically you've got so many disciplines to challenge yourself with today. So far, 3 sort of disciplines done. Which one have you enjoyed the most?
I'll be controversial. I think iRacing. I didn't really get on with F1 2020, and neither did Jardier, unfortunately. iRacing actually, but Trackmania is close. I really do enjoy Trackmania. It's frustrating but fun.
Okay, all right. And when we go to Assetto, Corsa, Competizione, what's your take on it? How do you do in that title? Because a lot of the fans who are watching right now on Twitch are getting animated. They're getting antsy. They want to know who's going to win this. So what can you tell us about it, GamerMuscle?
Well, because of the action that happened on iRacing, where I think there was a little bit of unfair contact that didn't get penalised, I think Team Green might be using some unconventional strategies to gain back the points. Let's say we are a bit behind as Team Green, and you might see some feisty action. And we've got it. We're fighting back.
Yeah. I mean, there was some talk about Cyanide known as CY, on the chat, should have been docked some points earlier on. Out of the opposition that you're facing, who do you least like? There you go. That's a difficult question.
Who do I least like? Well, you know, Emery. To be honest, you know, Australians, Emery. You know, that's pretty much it, really. The rest of them are all right, but Emery, it's just something about her, you know.
That is because she is so good. That's why.
She's winning everything.
Exactly, and doing so well. If you had to take someone out, it couldn't be Emily Jones. Who would you take out deliberately in this race? Let's make it spicy. Let's make it juicy. Who are you going for?
It's got to be Cyanide-based games, maybe. Maybe more than one person. Maybe we can get like the trifecta of takedown. I'm not going to do that. Safe driving, clean driving, no contact's going to happen.
Yeah, it's all fun and games. But listen, GamerMuscle, pleasure chatting to you. Of course, I'm all about Team Red. So best of luck, GamerMuscle. Back to you.
Thanks for having
in the
me.
studio.
Cheers.
Clean driving, he says. Maybe some points that didn't get penalized, he says. Now, guys, while we figure out the scoreboard and we'll get that on the back screen as soon as possible, we're heading up into our last title.
Yeah.
ACC, another simulation, so moving away from our...
Corsa Competizione.
Thank you.
Apparently.
I struggle saying it, so I always try to avoid.
Well, Tom did such a good job, so I just listened to him.
I thought he was flexing on me.
Yeah, he was. He's like, oh, you want me to say it again?
I know. He's like, I'll give it to you twice. Tom, here's another
Great
one.
job.
This one's a little bit more mainstream. So you got cracked, now you got flexing. That's what you just did to me. You're cracked at saying it, and you flexed on me.
Yeah. Okay. Also, Tom, thank you very much for your support for Team Red.
Yeah, this is really unfair. This is Frosk was playing like the rocket bumper.
Yeah, but she sabotaged me.
Exactly.
She sabotaged my team.
The AOC football game, I threw for you.
Okay.
I made it up for you.
I'll take it.
I was given a faulty car, actually, so...
You keep saying that. I
did go reverse! Okay.
Wait, okay, this is what he wants. He wants us to have animosity, so that I don't focus on him.
Okay.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Heading into the final game, before we see the scoreboard, how close do you think it is? Sjokz, do you still think that you have the lead?
No, I think it's super close.
She really pulled for you.
Yeah, Emily came through. Thank you so much, Emily. But I think that she will have saved a lot of points, but then the middle, I think, was very, very green. So I think we might be as close as tied by now.
I didn't even understand how it worked. Like, wasn't only the winner grabbing points, or did everyone grab points?
I believe that it's by position.
Yeah, everyone always grabs points. Welcome to the show.
There's hope, because Emily Jones was smurfing it.
Yeah,
Another word.
Yeah, RDA was right there in second for, I think, the second race. So there was some green there for Yamato. You
some
also
green there. I love that. Is there a money prize?
One could only hope.
Yeah.
You do have some actual ACC racers on your team, so this should actually be a decent title for you to take back some points. I know F1 wasn't looking so good. Jimmy Broadbent got kicked out. iRacing, you guys managed to pull it together. This could actually be the swing, and I'm really surprised that it's going to come down to the wire. Sjokz, you were saying that good thing you're throwing the qualifiers.
Yes, so I won the first qualifier, then we absolutely smashed at F1 2020. So I decided that it was best for the excitement of the game to not do as well in the qualifiers of the next two. So now it's really down to the wire. So I'd love to say it. I'm just gonna smash the last qualifier, but you know what? I don't have a lot of faith in myself. I'm just going to say it.
I believe grid position will be back for the last qualifier.
Yes, it is.
So it will really matter. Theoretically, that qualifier could actually decide who hosts the trophy.
I know. I've thought about it a lot.
Okay.
She's not saying anything.
I am ready. I'm preparing in my mind.
Women are just talking. It's just preparing.
Are you just chilling there, mate?
Yes, because, this is how I pictured the day going.
Yeah.
And
walk me through it.
Basically, lose out the first one, make sure that the confidence of my players are intact. My confidence, I can, play the game of, acting silly. But now, this is the pinnacle. This is my moment to shine, and I'm going to take it home.
Let me save you here because we do actually have the points and the standings ready for you. Oh my God! Okay, reminder, this gap was really made up by the Auto Ball Challenge, which was brought to us by AOC, where Yamato and rAiii actually crushed it to
true.
now give him a 2-point lead. Because despite Emily Jones taking first in Trackmania, holy shit, Green Team slaughtered you guys.
Holy moly. Thank you, rAiii. Thank you. I was just goalkeeper. He was scoring all of it. I was just chilling.
Tom is holding the red shirt, but rAiii is the actual shadow sleeper agent here, just rooting for Team Green all the way.
Okay, so it is actually going to come down to, I'm going to try to say it, Assetto, Corsa, Competizione. I can't say it. Competizione.
Air-conditioned calzone, okay.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at that game.
Assetto Corsa Competizione is everything a fun-loving racing enthusiast is passionate about. On-track action, paired with a special concept, make ACC a true competitor in the existing elites of the Sim series cosmos. The game has a strong focus on GT racing and features an enormous field of GT3 and GT4 cars. Much to the enjoyment of players, ACC was released as a successor to the original Assetto Corsa in May 2019. While the game was still in early access for the first 8 months, it already raked up a considerable number of regular players. A release for console this year expanded the player base even more. One of the most enticing things about ACC is the graphics of the game. Both inside and outside the car, everything seems very polished. Drivers can enjoy laser-scanned tracks and plenty of setup options to customize everything to their heart's desire. In the sim racing scene, Assetto Corsa Competizione is already one of the top names and will continue to grow with updates and DLCs.
An absolutely beautiful game. You guys will get a closer look at that in just a few minutes, but any first impressions just seeing it?
Looks beautiful. Yeah, it's again a bit different, and it's definitely very different to the last game. So I do wonder how that will influence the drivers, because you go from kind of this one style, it's all out, to now where you again have to be a bit more measured, right? So we'll have to see. It looks beautiful. I saw a beautiful sunset, so that'll be good. But the drivers also need to perform, of course.
You hyped me up because you said my drivers are good at this game, and I believe anything you say for us, so.
Yeah, me too.
Well, we also have another interview to help give you guys some guidance. It's going to be Dave Gaming and Jardier.
Jardier.
My man.
Jardier.
Standing by. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Hello, yes.
Can you give us the exact pronunciation of your name?
Well, Jardier.
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 Yeah, okay, cool.
Exactly.
One of the most lovable racers that we have. So I'll start with you, Jardier. When you're setting up for ACC and you have to guide Yamato to victory here, how would you set out your grid? Who's going to be your fastest racers on Green Team?
Okay, it's going to be very simple, Yamato. It's going to be very simple. From our team, me P1, Jimmy P2, P3 GamerMuscle, P4 Maxim. And from the opponent's team, definitely the third, fourth position, I would put the slowest from their team. So Dave Gaming and rAiii. And 7-8, 7-8, I would put Emery with Cyanide.
The man's right there.
Nice.
No, I said it.
Psychology, I love it. Nice.
Dave, are you okay?
I'm okay. I'm just a little bit disappointed in Jardier, but that's something that's going on for the whole evening already. So no surprise.
Okay, Dave. So what do you think I should do if I manage to pull out the win? I know I've let you down. I'm gonna do my best, but it's not my strong suit, these challenges.
Well, you have done great so far. I think our quickest guys are Emily and rAiii on P1 and P2. And on P3 and P4 from the opposite team, I would put Maxime and GamerMuscle. And then myself in P5, Sai on P6, and Jimmy on P7, and Jardier on P8.
Okay.
Just to be a little bit.
I see. So you're returning the favor. Okay, but hey, so interesting that you want to put Maxime also in 3 and 4, because she looked like a very strong driver to me. But you're thinking that Jimmy is actually better in this specific game, so you want to put him at the back?
Well, I think Jimmy could be a little bit quicker, and he also has some experience driving with Jardier, so maybe they feel good right in the back of the grid.
Yeah, it makes sense. Thank you.
So as far as ACC goes, can you kind of walk me through some of the techniques that are used in this game, how different it is comparatively to iRacing or F1, and kind of like why you feel so confident in the title? Jardier, let's start with you.
I would say compared to iRacing, the game is a little bit easier, but also on the other hand, you have to be more precise. It's a little bit less forgiving, so you have to be like very precise on driving, controlling on throttle and acceleration. But overall, the cars are a little bit easier, so I think that should be in our way, because I think for Emery, it's going to be the first game or first time driving this game, and she's strongest, definitely strongest from the red team.
Yeah.
So that's really going for our play. And I don't know what Dave was talking about rAiii and such. We're gonna overtake them very easily with Jimmy right at the start. So I think this is gonna be our game.
Nice.
There is a lot of fire coming out. Now, reminder, guys, that if you want to see behind the scenes, you can follow us over on Instagram, see everything there, all of the weird shenanigans that we've been up to, as well as watching the drivers on the stream. I wish you guys so much good luck in your warm-up. Dave, do you have any kind of final words, since I gave Jardier the last question there?
Yeah, good luck to Jardier, because you will have to use it. You will need it.
You're like still so polite, even though you're trying to like. I love it. Great job so far, Dave.
I would like to wish great luck to the Dave as well, and be careful on the blue flags.
He's like, good luck. I hope you finish in last, but have fun.
Love it.
Okay, it's going to come down to this. I'm not going to lie, Sjokz. It's not looking great. The fact that Emily Jones is one of your strongest racers, and this isn't her most comfortable title. Do you have any trash talk for Yamato? Anything to psych him out before going into the last qualifier?
I mean, when I didn't trash talk before the first one, I ended up doing good. So I'm going to try and reverse psychology this.
I'm so insulted by what you just said. She's actively trash talking me with her eyes.
I'm not. I have all the respect for my opponents. But yeah, I'm excited. I don't know exactly what the last challenge is, but it can't be worse than the IRL Rocket League competition.
It's so much better. In fact, let's go ahead and look at the last challenge. It's Mario Kart again, but with a little bit of a spin.
While our captains have already proven who is faster in Mario Kart Live home circuit under normal conditions, we are now adding an extra layer to the qualifying for Assetto Corsa Competizione to spice things up. This time, they don't just race a modified track of our Studio Grand Prix, they also have to partake in a Don't Drink and Drive challenge. They are required to empty their drinks entirely before reaching the checkered flag. But this is Don't Drink and Drive. Therefore, they have to come to a full stop before they are allowed to take a sip. Whoever gets across the finish line first with an empty glass wins and gets pole position in ACC.
Okay, guys, I will help you with this one. So this is how it works. I used to play this game in college all the time. Don't drink and drive. So we have two smoothies on this middle table. One is green, one is red. Green for Yamato, red obviously for Sjokz. If you're drinking it, your car must be standing still. You cannot drive and drink. I'm going to give you this tip because I did this a lot in college. Race, get right before the finish line, chug it. It is a smoothie though, watch out for the brain freeze.
Hold up. I'm afraid I won't even find the finish line again, so can you run
I'm afraid about a green smoothie, like kale and broccoli. Like
how dare you? Aren't you the green team? Don't you celebrate this?
Yeah, but it's a green smoothie. That has nothing to do.
Okay, so last time I was so confused because I was watching both things.
No, just watch your screen.
But I was also doing that.
Okay, Frost, you're supposed to help me.
So
sit on the couch.
Okay, Sjokz. By the way, it goes that way. The gates are numbered. There's a second
they're
gate.
next to each other. I'm so confused.
It'll show you. It's okay. Just pay attention to the screen. Okay, Sjokz is Mario. Yamato is Luigi. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay, start the race.
Yo, I can't drive. She's driving already, guys.
Can we get some technical assistance for Yamato?
Is this correct, or am I again in the wrong?
I'm waiting for racers. I'm the one that is waiting.
I think we might have to restart.
She needs to come back and.
Yeah, I'll come back. I'm just checking out the track for
referee.
a little bit.
Red card.
Yeah. Finish line? Sure. But see, this is what I mean. Why does it say to the right when it's to the left? You're just gonna put them on the start position. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm so bad at this.
Where's gate 2?
No, I'm just looking at...
Okay, gate 2's here. So, Sjokz, you go forward under the table, through here, or through here, and then gate 3's over here.
And how do we get to gate 4?
So then you come over through here, then you have to cross back over, and then you go into gate 4.
We're going.
Yeah. Okay, ready?
It's very confusing.
And we're off the wrong direction. It's Yamato into a very early lead, and Sjokz is already driving.
Wait, something's happening.
All over.
Yo.
course.
What is this sabotage?
Okay, into the alligator. That means that Sjokz is now taken into first. Okay, Sjokz, how you doing? Got to get through the gate. She needs to pull it into reverse. Means that Yamato has some time to make up. Oh, right into the gator.
I'm lagging.
I'm also ragging. I'm ragging a lot.
Zip to your right, Yamato. There you go. Sjokz still holding on to a healthy lead, and as well as a mushroom. Nope, that's a shoe. Sjokz, no! Okay.
I'm so confused.
Let me help you out here. Losing space. Yamato is now taken into first place.
Am I in
as
the correct
Sjokz goes
place
for
or not?
vacation. Yamato.
Whoa, Frost.
Mate, you're the one driving.
Where is gate 3?
And Sjokz back in. Oh no, Yamato now.
Wait, where the hell is gate? Sorry, where is it? Gate 3? I'm so confused.
Gate 3's right here. I'm on gate 3.
Yeah, I love that you're showing that, but oh, okay.
Yeah, you got this. Boom, gate 3. Sjokz, you're blocking Yamato. Okay.
But I'm going the opposite way. I'm so confused, bro.
I don't know which direction any of the racers are going. No one has touched their smoothie yet. Remember, you can't finish the race. Wait, Sjokz, you can't cross it. You have to finish your smoothie.
But I don't know where I am. What? Where's the finish line? 2?
That's the finish. Wait, stop!
Oh, I didn't drink.
Who got it? Whoa.
This smoothie's not.
I got a lot of training in college as well.
You're not gonna like this.
What?
Unfortunately, they're making you race again.
Now my smoothie doesn't taste good.
No
guys.
way.
Rigged.
Does someone have a tissue or something? Because like there's
Okay, I'm
so
told-
much smoothie all over my face. Thank you.
I'm told that the race was illegal because we finished without drinking it. So we will do a normal race, no smoothie this time around.
Okay.
That was just for hydration.
But come on, I have to get points for that chug.
Can we give her 2 points?
What? Okay.
See, I'm looking at all the
I'll
cameramen.
allow it. I'll
They're
allow
saying
it.
yes.
It was good. 2 points. 2 points.
I may have actually just forced something on a rule change. We'll
You know,
see.
if there's gonna be like a 1 point difference, Frost, can
But I still have. I at no point.
I also have a tissue?
At no point do I know what I'm doing in this game. Literally at no point.
You hijacked the number 3 and you just drove away with it, like.
Did I?
Yeah.
There's smoothie in my
I
hair.
pushed it away.
But listen, look what I'm going through for Team Red. There's smoothie in my hair.
Ooh.
You know how hard it is to get that out?
That's that herbal essence.
Yes.
A green smoothie is not delicious.
You went back for it, though.
The red one is really
I
delicious.
had to finish.
You didn't have to.
It's for the look, for the aesthetic.
Okay, I see.
All right, I'm happy.
I'm sorry we're making it so difficult for you.
Okay, we are resetting another race. This one will be for all the marbles. Remember, it's a 2 point difference between Yamato and Sjokz right now, 60 to 62. We're coming
Wait, the
into our
starting
last
one
title.
is 1?
The sweaty one?
No, the starting gate is 1. That just clicked for me.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay. Is everyone ready?
Yes.
Okay, you may now begin.
Wait.
I think they did it, didn't they?
No, we didn't. We didn't.
Oh no.
We did it?
Remake.
Okay, I got you.
Remake.
Sjokz.
We're so bad at
Referee.
everything. Another 2 points for Sjokz. But it says head to gate 1.
Honestly,
Okay.
I regret my decision to give her 2 points. Like, I feel like that's gonna mess my team up.
I don't think anyone's giving you points.
Okay, I can't give points? Okay, sorry for sure.
Okay. And we're off for the 5th time. Okay, off to a strong start. I think Sjokz has finally figured it out. Sjokz,
No, I haven't. I'm in a different direction again.
Gate 2.
I am? Oh, shit.
Wait, why don't I see? I'm lagging again. I have to go closer?
Sjokz, you gotta find. Okay, well, I guess that works. She's trying to make off with gate 2 as Yamato takes the lead. He's now going through gate 4 and heading towards the finish line. Yamato now in his 2nd lap. Has figured out the course, knows exactly where gate 2 is. Boom, gate 2 heading into gate 3. Sjokz still trying to find the finish line. Gate 3 for Yamato.
Gate 4. I'm lagging so hard.
Now heading into gate 4, Yamato looking at taking his 2nd lap. He is setting up his team for incredible success for ACC.
I'm lagging so hard. Referee.
And Yamato has stopped. Oh, no, still moving? Super slow, just stuck on the gate. Just,
oh my god.
Sjokz is in actual Narnia.
It's good. My internet provider has trained me for this.
Are you getting Berlin?
Yeah, I'm getting Berlin.
I'm also getting Berlin.
I'm getting Berlin internet. It's my comfort zone.
And Yamato heading towards the finish line. Will he do it? He does!
I feel so robbed. I feel robbed, dude.
Sjokz?
I was lagging too. I was lagging
No.
too.
I put my heart and soul into that.
Now, Yamato, at a 1.5 distance, how do you feel winning the race today?
Honestly, this was all planned. When I saw the rundown of how the day is going to be,
Yep.
I
Trying to
knew
finish.
step by step exactly it was going to play out like this. I knew we would have the fumble with the juice, and I knew we would have to rerun, and that's where I prepared myself for. That's what I put my energy into.
Really
with the
planned
juice,
for it?
with the vitamins. Yeah.
You went back for that second hit on the juice, so
Yes.
you would just be in the perfect mind space.
Yes.
Is there anyone
Boom.
that you'd like to thank today for this race?
Honestly, I would just like to thank
You have to
my
thank
whole team.
me. I gave you that victory by forgetting
Listen,
to
no one
drink.
wants to listen to the losers right now. Continue, winners.
I would like to thank my racers
Mm-hmm.
because they have carried me through tough times, and I had the chance to rebuild my confidence and then deliver them this opportunity. Because if they don't take it home, I remember what Jimmy told me. I'm gonna flame him back if he doesn't take it home today on this final thing.
Strong words. Now we will listen to the losers. Sjokz, final word before we toss it over to the racers.
Listen, I put my heart and soul into that first one. I could not believe that I was first. And you even said it stop, and I just... But anyway, listen, my team's going to come through. I think that the green team has showed too much confidence. Like Jimmy before, and then he got smacked in iRacing after. And then now Jardier also just like, yeah, we're going to do great. That doesn't work well.
Okay.
That doesn't work well.
Okay, playing my tiny violin for you.
We've heard from the coaches, and now it's time to get into our last title. So rAiii, take it away.
Enough of the chit-chat now, because now we're going back to proper sim racing, esports racing, whatever you want to call it, because this will be the final round. It also features 2 races and 2 teams that are quite close now. After auto ball in the previous rounds, now that Team Green is finally back, leading by 2 points, and rAiii is on the run here to win it in ACC. We heard it already from the captains that there are many drivers that they think they could be good in ACC, but she will probably have a better look at that and analyze who exactly should bring in all the points. So I guess I will have Tom again, which is great because that means I got my own Wikipedia for stuff. Tom, it is very close now. I wanted to give you that, so you. That was my sorry for not naming you on my Twitter post. So, who do you think has the best?
It's all good. It's all
best
good.
run into this now.
Listen, I mean, who knows? Because obviously, for any driver, sitting around waiting to actually get to the race makes it very difficult for them. So, after watching another Mario Kart with Sjokz and Yamato, it's anyone's guess as to who is still kept the focus. I think Emily Jones has got a good chance to show everybody what she's made of. She's really impressed me today. But then Jardier, what a race he's had all day. And will Jimmy Broadbent be able to get back into this?
With ACC, I think it's interesting that probably everyone kind of has experience on that, even competitive, because it's the newest title, right? It's the last title that was released from all the ones we played today. And nearly all of the content creators or sim racers out there, esports drivers, they all jumped on it at one point in their career. So I think it's everyone's game. Now, a lot of people in the chat say it should be Jardier destroying everyone, which I can kind of understand. But I think what we totally overlook for Team Red, while they have Emily Jones and Dave Gaming, especially Dave should have enough experience on ACC, they have Cyanide, and he raced the last 4 weeks, ACC only. He did several endurance events and stuff like that, so it will be very interesting to see if he actually come out on top of this. Talking about coming out on top, let's have a look at the grid, and it's Jardier basically leading this pack onto the first race. Then it's Jimmy Broadbent in second, so it's all a green winning first row, hopefully. And then red right behind that with Dave Gaming and rAiii once again, so same to the previous race. In terms of who is going first. GamerMuscle on 5th, Maxime on 6th. And let's see for the very last row, who's actually starting on the back, is Emily Jones, and then Cyanide starting on 8th, so he will have a lot of overtakes to go for. I think there's an award for being the coolest overtaker or having the most gained position, so that might be a chance for him right here on ACC. ACC, we'll see, is visiting 2 different racetracks. One of them is Silverstone, the other one is the Nürburgring. So very interesting choice of tracks here. It is, once again, tracks that everyone knows because these are, let's say, the bread and butter of sim racing, basically. Tracks to go to. So let's see how that works out for everyone. With Jardier being up first, is there anyone on this grid actually that can stop him if he comes through turn 1 safe and sound?
I don't think there is, rAiii. I want to give people a chance that they will be like, oh, there's something to look out for here. But with the Nürburgring, the little brother of the Nordschleife, for me, if Jardier can get that lead, as we saw in F1 2020, earlier on, it feels like many moons ago when we started Clash of Racers, there is a chance that he will not be caught here. It's just getting that clean, consistent race, the 1 and 2 punch. I think it's going to happen again. And this, I think, is going to give a Team Green the win. But anything could happen in Silverstone, couldn't it?
Definitely. I mean, we saw with the 2 corps, and I forgot the first one, though. Oh, my God. Horrible moment on camera, forgetting the name on the corner. There are 2 right-handers that are very quick at Silverstone. I'll just go away from names now. And we know how easily you can actually misjudge them, either being way too slow, and I mean taking down right at the exit, or overshooting it, and then be gone in the distance, because it's Silverstone, a very big parking lot, basically, not as bad as Paul Ricard, but it is huge, and then you get lost, and you're done.
Yeah, I just want to put out there once, and this is not a brag, I got to go on a coach and couldn't go any faster than 30 miles an hour around Silverstone. Absolutely beautiful, breathtaking, just to go around Silverstone at 30 miles an hour and no faster.
I think my last Silverstone lap is years ago. I was there back then to test the Nismo GTR when it came out. It's a fun track, let's be honest here, but it's also completely different to what we had before. Spa had a lot of elevation changes. There's none of that at Silverstone. It's basically just flat out everywhere, but not flat out racing, because there's a second sector which is quite tricky to actually get into the hairpins, throw the car around, find the right balance of it. And for the first time tonight, we're also not racing everyone on the same cars.
Yeah, this is giving them the opportunity to preference the Ferrari, the Lamborghini, the Mercedes, the Audi. What are you going to go with? Which car floats your boat? That doesn't really make any sense, that statement. But you know what I mean.
It's
up
no
to them
boat
to choose what their preference is in Assetto, Corsa, Competizione. And like you said before, a lot of people like this title. They love this esports racing title, and they really want to just show what they've got. And let's not forget, rAiii, this is an opportunity for them to bow out with their heads held high. Their team might not win, but now it's really up for them to show everyone who's watching who the best driver is.
It definitely is. And with having all these different cars, we have an FR car, which is the Mercedes-AMG GT3, and everything else is midship rear-wheel drive. So what do you go for, Tom?
For me personally, I would stick with the car that's got the most possibility of keeping me safe when I crash it. But personally, I'd go Lamborghini for this race.
It's definitely a good-looking car, so I can understand that. I'm not quite sure I like midship cars, so we'll probably go with the Ferrari. The 488 is a favorite of many people out there. I think I saw a lot being used in racing, but it's also very aggressive. So we'll see how that turns out. Now, who actually gets which car? That will be interesting on the grid, and we won't see that until we actually jump onto the starting line and see them going off. The Mercedes is probably the easiest to drive with the FR layout, so let's see how that works. So they will actually roll up. It's a rolling start, and we have the green cars. I wonder if that is the right order, because there's a green next to an orange one and then a green next to an orange one. That's probably wrong. So we see Jardier, that is Jaroslav Honzik, on first. He will race an Audi. Jimmy Broadbent goes with the front engine and rear-wheel drive Mercedes AMG GT3. Dave Gaming in the Ferrari 488. Then Maxime in the Ferrari 488 for Team Red. Then we see rAiii, should be on fifth, yep. In the Audi, then GamerMuscle on sixth in the Lamborghini Huracan, and then Emily Jones and Cyanide. Cyanide on the AMG for Team Red, and Emily on the Lamborghini all the way in the back. So rolling start, that's different to what we had before. So not standing completely different, because you need to stay in a row. Basically, Assetto Corsa Competizione tells you exactly where to drive, how many meters there need to be in between there, and then at one point it goes green, and you want to make sure that you're in the right gear, really launching it off here onto the track. By the way, this is Nürburgring. Is it? Yes, that's Vidal chicane. There we go. Basically, once we head into turn one, if everyone waves from their car, they can basically wave at my home, because I'm living down there, Mühlenbachschleife, a bit further than that. So when we go down to Dunlop Corner, I'm basically at home. So that is great. Let's see. Green are locking out the front row. I'm not quite sure if we actually start like this, or if we change it again. So let's see what happens once we go green here at the very last race. And it's everything to win here for Team Green, because they got the small point lead, and we're green at the Nürburgring GP. Down to the first hairpin. That's a right-hander. You really have to brake on your mark, make sure to not overshoot it, maybe dip it on the inside, but not too hard. Seems like the Audi R8 has a great start here for Team Green. That's nearly 4 wide in the background. Small tap on the Lamborghini, and it got turned around for Team Green. Very unfortunate there. Also another mistake between the Ferrari and the Audi in the background. That was Dave Gaming here in the Ferrari for Team Red, and then it's Jimmy Broadbent right in front of him. We saw James West, so GamerMuscle being pushed all the way back to 6th. Not a great start for them. Let's see what they can do here. It is a timed race, because there are no laps down to the GT series that Assetto Corsa Competizione is actually replicating. So it's slightly different to our previous races, although this should be similar to 5 laps. So we'll see what happens. Maxime in front of rAiii. rAiii went a bit wide there now, while they now shoot down to Dunlop Corner. So you want to stay on the left here, and once the curb starts, slightly after, you slam the brakes, and then this can either be a single apex or a double apex, depending on what kind of car you have and what you want to do with the guy in front or on your back. That's basically a strategic corner that lets you position the car slightly different to what you have to achieve. While Jimmy Broadbent currently is in 2nd place with his beautiful AMG GT3 here. That just got an evil update to it as well. And Jardier up front. So if Team Red wants to take any big points here, they have to actually make it past Jimmy Broadbent and then hunt down Jardier, but that won't be easy at all. Emily Jones already up to 3rd. Dave Gaming still in 4th. So Emily, great start for her in the Lamborghini Huracan GT3. That was very messy through Vidal chicane, and then she lost the rear of the car, unsettling it too much over the curbs, running a bit wide there, losing a lot of time, and with that, Dave Gaming is back on, but that's the same team, so they don't really worry, but you want to catch Jimmy, you want to catch Jardier, and for that, you need to be on top of your game and do way better than this first lap here. So down into turn 1 again, braking hard, turning to the right. There's the dip. You see that, like the car is dropping down. And that's an Audi. Who is that? Is that Jimmy Broadbent? No, Jimmy Broadbent is still there. So that was Jardier throwing around his car, and all of a sudden they drop down massively. It's once again Jardier going up against I think that was Cyanide, if I'm not mistaken, where he went to pass through there, through the different categories, because it should be him. Oh no, it's not him on the Mercedes. Oh, it is, yeah, because we had the Lamborghini as last for Emily, so that works. That's Emily on 2nd right now. And then we have rAiii on 5th and Cyanide on 6th. And that was the car that we just saw in the battle here. But I heard from Race Control that we actually redo this race, so they had a bit of practice now, and then get the ride grid and do it again. I have to say, well, we saw that in the chat already, right? Everyone's like, oh, that's pretty messy. It is not super serious racing. So if you turned in and expected like a 10-man strong Marshall team, that's not the case. I mean, everyone out there of the drivers, they know that they should behave on track, and so far they did, let's say, for most of the laps, not for all of them. But yeah, now with everything on the line, it seems like they get a bit more messy, a bit more aggressive. So let's see. Maybe one of them get a slap on the wrist or a disconnect. Be thrown out of the lobby. It's like, oh, crash, disconnect. No, but we will sort out the grid for you guys again, and that gives another chance for me to speak to Tom. Tom, what do you say about the first, let's say, warm-up race we just saw?
Messy is one word for it. Not to take anything away from the guys, it's hard to tell which drivers were taking it seriously there. When Jardier was just spinning out, I thought to myself, I don't think he's really taking this seriously. So I'm glad the restart happens. I'm glad we can get those grid positions as they should be, because at the end of the day, it is all for fun, but we do want to make it as fair as possible for the actual winner. 60 points for Team Red at the moment, 62 for Team Green. This is close. We can't just throw the title away willy-nilly, can we? And rAiii, can I just say, you are doing an amazing job all day. I'm going to give you that credit right now before the show is even over.
Thank you, man. I mean, I'm enjoying it. Normally, you get one raise, maybe two, depending on the format of the championship. Here we get so many, and I can actually see those guys doing Mario Kart, which was quite impressive, I have to say. And Audible, next time you're here, we actually play Audible.
Oh yeah, I would love that. You were brilliant at that. But it is such that this is a fun day to get these talented, very, very talented people all together to race, and it has been a lot of fun. And I feel like this could go either way. And some people were debating, I saw on Twitch, whether who's going in a Lamborghini or a Ferrari on this track and in this format. So what is your opinion on that, rAiii? Should they be sticking to the Audi and the Mercedes in this?
I mean, from the format, everyone has to pick that one car that's left over, basically, right? Because every team needs to pick each car once. I wrote down, we had Emily Jones on the Lamborghini Huracan, right? And we had Cyanide on the Mercedes for Team Red now. So do you remember what rAiii and Dave Gaming were on? I think Dave Gaming was on the Audi, right? I want to see if they check.
He might have been. I'm going to hazard a guess. Stab in the dark, yes.
That's great. Can we have that as a replay? Can we have a replay from the start? No, I'll write that down as soon as we hit into the next grid, because I fear when I write everything down, no, they change the cars again just to mess with me. And then I will look like the biggest idiot, not knowing who's in which car. But we will get there. But it's only a 2-point difference now for Team Green. And I have to say, Team Green, besides Trackmania, they never really score big. So do you think, even though they have Jardier, even though they have Jimmy Broadbent, can they be dominant in another title than Trackmania tonight?
I don't know. I mean, obviously, we're going to head to the Nürburgring first, then Silverstone. I look at, from what my knowledge of watching tonight has told me, you want to be in the 1 and 2, you stick onto those places, and then you're going to get your points for your team. That's 10 and 8 points. And I think that could be the difference. If there's any way of dislodging the 1 and 2 tonight, that's where it can be decided. So I think in this first race, Jardier needs to bring home those 10 points for Team Green. I know this sounds obvious, but my point being really, it's a 1 and 2 race for both. And I think for Team Green, if they can do that, then the title's sewn up.
How prone he is to actually throwing it away. We just saw him, right? He was leading in front of Jimmy Broadbent, and all of a sudden he dropped down the order. Do you think there's a certain pressure now on him? Because we all say it's Jardier that has to score now, and Team Green just wins, has it in back because it's ACC at the end. Is that too much?
I think there's part of me that thinks that Jimmy Broadbent is going to want the accolade. He's going to want to win this and be number 1 as he crosses the line. So therefore, that could totally ruin the race for Team Green. And actually, any collision between the 1 and the 2, they could go spinning, and then that gives it to Team Red. But I think, yes, Jardier's going to have some pressure on him, but He's a cool, calm, collected, although after the first race, he was very, very sweaty. So, yeah, I think the pressure's going to be on Jardier, but I think he's going to deliver for Team Green.
All right, Tom says it should be Team Green, although he has a Team Red jersey. So
I know, look, I've got rid of it now. Look, watch, I'm going to take it. It's gone. This is Team Green all day.
If you wash it, it becomes green. Believe me. I actually heard we got a cool highlight video throughout the entire day, and even more cool is we actually can talk about it. That's great. Like, if maybe Tom can talk with me as well, that would be great. Let's look back at our very first race of tonight, which was F1 2020 at Monza, and this was probably one of the highlight moments. Maxime against Cyanide, such a beautiful move, really well executed, and Cyanide played along. He then took back that position in Parabolica to then throw it away in the same chicane again. So that was very unfortunate. In the end, it was Dave Gaming and rAiii looking at having the podium 1 and 2, and then Jimmy Broadbent in third. Montreal, very bad start for the green team. You see that in the background. Jardier dropped all the way down, so it was Team Red that were looking strong right from the get-go, with Jimmy Broadbent being the only one that kind of holds up the name of Team Green. A fight in the background saw Cyanide being pushed and punished on basically every single corner, losing one position after another, really giving away points, needed points, because by now they would be in the lead if things like that didn't happen. That was also Cyanide against Jardier. That's the reason why they have a little fight going on tonight, but it was an all-red podium with Dave Gaming, rAiii, and Emily Jones, 1, 2, 3. Jimmy Broadbent gave away one position. In the end, then we headed over to Spa-Francorchamps with iRacing and the Porsche 718 Cayman GT4 CS Club Sport MR here, which saw exciting racing with a little bit of getting too close, too familiar with each other on some of the corners. That was last chicane. We saw here overshooting the corner. A mistake that happens in many of the competitive races here at Spa. You really want to brake super, super, super late, and obviously that's not how you gain positions in iRacing, so you have to give that back. A lot of exciting racing with these fun cars, balanced mid-chip racers, basically. Not as much aero as the F1s we had before, but even closer racing. So close that they actually fall together at some point. So just so that everyone knows how to store these Caymans, don't do that at home, kids. Doesn't really work. Tried that once on a racetrack. All right, that was the second wing, by the way. We lost. I tried still to count through every game. Before we headed over to Trackmania, where Emily Jones was the driver to beat, winning 2 out of 3, if I remember correctly from the runs we had there. But still, with winning Autoball on the green side, they actually scored a bit better than Red in this one, which brought the entire team back to this exciting finish we now have at ACC. So it will be very, very interesting to see if they can hold on to that, or if Red actually returns with a big comeback here at Assetto Corsa Competizione. Trackmania showed us why it is still a game that is around for so many years, because it is great racing, it's different to all the titles out there, and it's really challenging, engaging, and all of that, it's addictive, I'll tell you that. So only try if you have a lot of time on your hand and you actually enjoy being frustrated. We heard it already. It's basically the Dark Souls of racing. Tom, how often do you flip out so far doing it?
I flip out quite a lot, I have to say. But while you were giving it a brief of what's happened, it just took me back there to some of the brilliant races. And my highlight, which wasn't shown, was Cyanide taking out Jardier early on in F1 2020, which was infuriating for Jardier. And in the end, it didn't work for Cyanide because he finished last in that race. Smitty1812 says, loving the Mario Kart racing. There was no highlight of that, but I have to say the downing of the drinks from Sjokz and Yamato were epic to watch as well. And I would have liked to have seen a couple more highlights of that throughout. But yeah, as we hot up for the last race on Assetto Corsa Competizione, it is going to come down to the wire. And that's what we wanted for Clash of the Races. We didn't want it all over by the time we got to the last race, did we, René?
Yeah, I'm super happy about that. I mean, it could have been like F1, right? Someone just running away with the title, and then us being here for ACC like, yeah, okay, it's another 10 laps too late. No, it's not like that, because it's very, very close between these two teams. And by the way, no Mario Kart highlights, because probably too much product placement of sneakers, I think. That's the real reason. So maybe next time, I will actually go there with a pen and write my Twitter on Sjokz's sneakers to make sure that I'm featured. I think that would be great.
That's the way you should have done it, Rene. We need to be thinking outside the box. We're not like Sjokz and Yamato. We need to do more of that. Oh, I mean, if I'd have thought about this, I would have put my favorite football team in the background with my name on. If I'd have thought about this more, Rene, you let the side down.
Yeah, I mean, I asked if I can have my team logo in the background, but as you can see, that didn't work out. We should have changed all the colors as well. Next time. That's fine. I mean, I'm all alone here in the caster desk, so I could do whatever I want. I can even tell you, you don't see that on camera, but there are lights on the table, and I could switch because this is the green side. If I want to make sure that I'm a winning team joiner in terms of winning in the end, I will just switch over there. Someone has to readjust the camera then, and then I can say I was in Team Red the entire time.
Yeah. It's a smart move. The fact that this is very hands-on, it feels like a team. There's a lot of people behind the scenes working through everything, but it's always the caster that gets left to his own devices, Rene. You could have sabotaged this at any point, and you haven't, and I respect that. Fair play to you, Rene.
Luckily, I'm not the spectator, so I don't have to push any buttons while being here. But maybe next time I can have you next to me, and then we just go crazy. Because that's what I love. And I sometimes think we should actually, instead of only having picture-of-picture of drivers, we should also have picture-of-picture of talents. Because, for example, if you wonder how different talents look like, last time Clash of Racers, the first iteration, that was Lee Demon Smith here, right? And if Lee is standing, it's basically like this. Has like a wider stance with his feet, and then leaning over, and then shouting at the screen. And it always ends basically on, what was this League of Legends sentence that he always says that people always refer to? You know what I mean, right? I mean, they should know because they're all coming from League of Legends. But it was,
yeah.
What was it?
I'll pop it up on the Twitch and I will catch up with it, Rene. Do not panic. That is the least of our worries right now. It's trying to get it all set up for Assetto Corsa Competizione. It seems to be taking longer than it normally does. But the beautiful thing is that I think is the driver's way of telling us we're trying to make it really tense. We're ramping up the energy and the expectation of who's going to win it.
Maybe we should get technical checks in because as much time as I take right now, we should check all the engines once again. I mean, this is GT3 racing, so there's a huge specification list for each of those cars. Maybe we should check that again. Not that anyone gets some funny ideas of what to do with their cars. Like in real life, we all know that it sometimes happens. If you have to pick one driver that would readjust his engine mapping, who would it be for this race?
When I look at this. Listen, I would never suggest that anyone is cheating in any way, shape, or form. I like the energy that GamerMuscle brings. I love the honesty of Jardier. He's so adorable. He plays fair. That's why people love his channel. Maxime, I feel like Maxime got driver of the day in F1 2020 earlier on today. I feel like she's a little bit of a dark horse out there for this. So I want her to do exactly what you asked to do, which is to reset everything.
If you now think the esports racing scene is all beautiful flowers and sunshine because everyone is nice and polite, like Tom just described, that is not the world. Our world is full of drama and passion, people shouting, sometimes throwing wheels, not at each other, but maybe around the room. I might have done that once in my life, but that's many years ago. So don't copy that. No, you're right. Like everyone today... seems to enjoy their time, right? And that's what we're here for. We want to have some fun with racing, and we know that so much about your seasonal schedule in esports racing is very, very serious. There's a lot of preparation, setup building, dialing in, analyzing the opponent, the track, the title you're playing on. And today it's more about actually just enjoying racing.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, look, there's no free ride for any of these guys today. They're representing their team. They're also representing their brand. And I even like the fact that Cyanide's been a bit cheeky at times. He's been pushing the track limits, shall we say, and sportsmanlike behavior. But at the end of the day, he's been very clutch and he's been an integral part of Team Red. And I've also been very impressed with rAiii coming into this. I'd say with the community he has with Pixel, he's great. The work he does is really important, but not as big as one of the sort of influencers like Jimmy Broadbent, but he's holding his own today. And I think that deserves a lot of credit.
Definitely does, and we know how busy he is with basically everything in the esports racing world. Although I just had an update on the race, so Cyanide will not be around for ACC, which is a bit bummer for me, because I think he would do good in ACC, and that also means that on the green side, someone has to be off the race every single time. So on the first race, if I got that correctly, it is Maxime. On the second race is Jimmy Broadbent missing out. So that will give a bit of twist to our race now, because these are 3 drivers from who I thought they could be at least in the top 4.
Yeah, this is if we wanted a little bit of spice to finish off the night, which is not good for digestion before bedtime. But however, a little bit of spice is going to be very entertaining for everybody, because if Cyanide can't be there, the consequences for Team Green, they're going to have to really think about the tactics going into this one.
Tactics, strategies, racing, all of that will be needed to actually get maximum points in Assetto Corsa Competizione. And if you wonder, like, why are rAiii and Tom still talking?
That's a good question. I'm thinking exactly the same.
I wanted to explain it now and just say, like, it's because we do. But that's fine. No. Tom, how about you racing? And then me as well. And then we just keep going with that. I'm fine with ACC. I can do it, like, on the keyboard to give you a fair chance. And you can have a steering wheel?
Yes, that would be a very unfair chance for you, but I respect the fact you're willing to come down to my level. I love the fact that everyone today who's been watching on Twitch has offered up their thoughts, their wisdoms on what could be improved in some of the driving styles today. So what we should actually do next time is get someone picked at random from Twitch to come and join us and race. So I'm coming up with ideas. We're not just chatting to fill time. We're coming up with ideas. We're brainstorming right now.
For the 3rd iteration of the Clash of Races at Overtake. I like that. I think that will be great. What I also like are small videos explaining what we're actually doing to get everyone up to speed in case you just joined. So here's the one for Assetto Corsa Competizione.
Assetto Corsa Competizione is everything a fun-loving racing enthusiast is passionate about. On-track action paired with a special concept make ACC a true competitor in the existing elites of the Sim series cosmos. The game has a strong focus on GT racing and features an enormous field of GT3 and GT4 cars. Much to the enjoyment of players, ACC was released as a successor to the original Assetto Corsa in May 2019. While the game was still in early access for the first 8 months, it already raked up a considerable number of regular players. A release for console this year expanded the player base even more. One of the most enticing things about ACC is the graphics of the game. Both inside and outside the car, everything seems very polished. Drivers can enjoy laser-scanned tracks and plenty of setup options to customize everything to their heart's desire. In the sim racing scene, Assetto Corsa Competizione is already one of the top names and will continue to grow with updates and DLCs.
Din, 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 din. No dancing. That's fine. But we're getting ready for ACC. Thanks that you actually stay with us. Same for you, Tom. I mean, you're not even here and you're still awake and in all the time. I like it.
Let me give you an insight into everybody on Twitch right now. If you stream yourself, you know you've got like your family, your loved ones, maybe in the same house as you. My girlfriend is absolutely furious right now because I've got my TV behind. She wants to catch up on a lot of TV programs, and I have denied her that for the last 3.5 hours. But I'm going to pay for it. But I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So thanks for staying with as well.
So if Tom is not on the next episode of Clash of Races, we know why. Because someone said no, or you might die. Who knows? That's why I'm here in Berlin. Because my girlfriend was like, you're not shouting in your own room again at screens. That must. Sometimes I really wonder if that looks weird. Because we're just sitting in front of screens and shouting at each other and stuff like that. She's probably wondering, is like, what's wrong with him? I tried my best. Try to be supportive. Give him a life. And he's just staring at screens.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But this yeah. This is the way it goes. I'm thoroughly enjoying the day to build the love. I mean, so many people have commented today saying that, you know, this has been really, really fun and they're enjoying it. How fun it looks for the qualifiers. I know they've been an added addition to Clash of Racers 2, that we have the qualifier to set the grid places. And you know what, rAiii, you have to take full credit for your performance earlier on today. That didn't look easy, but you styled it out very well.
Yeah, the dancing was the hardest part, but I like that you bring it up and that you appreciate me trying to dance in front of camera. Probably the most embarrassing moment of my career. But I'll do everything for cameras. No, I won't, but dancing is still fine. You're right, we obviously have to sort the grid to make sure that everyone's in the correct position this time, because last time it seems like they got a bit confused. But here it is, and let's see if that is a correct one. I see 2 green, 2 red, and then I see a red-green, because obviously we're down by 1 driver. So let's quickly see. It is Jardier in the Audi. That's good. And then it's Jimmy Broadbent on the Mercedes. I'm writing down everything really quick right now. So third is Dave Gaming, and Dave is on the Ferrari. And then fourth is rAiii. He is on the Audi. And then fifth is Muscle, the Missile in the Lamborghini, and then another Lamborghini for Emily Jones. That means Jimmy is out for this one, and Cyanide is out for this one. So let's see. Broadbent in the Mercedes, not in the... that wasn't Broadbent. I missed one. Wait, Emily in the Lamborghini. I'll try to be as quick as possible while they're rolling on start-finish straight to start the penultimate race here at the Clash of Racers in the second episode. And it will be Jardier opening up the race in his Audi R8 LMS Evo GT3 car. And then right next to him is Jimmy Broadbent, the one and only content creator. Get really close here, and then they started. We got green, and Jimmy Broadbent slotting right behind Jardier, immediately closing that gap there for Dave Gaming. No chance for them as they cover up the inside line. I like that approach. Dave Gaming has to go wide here, trying to run the outside, but look at that. Emily Jones already through here on turn 1 at Nürburgring. Man, if I could start like that in real life, I would be up there at one of the big championships already. I'll tell you that. Great start that we saw here. Who else is in there? That's the second Lamborghini. That is GamerMuscle on the back of Dave Gaming right now. And then it's the Audi of rAiii all the way in the back. So not a great start for GamerMuscle here, who is trying to come up the inside there. Look at that. The Lamborghini really pushing. Talking about pushing, that was a bit too much. Sending the Ferrari into a spin. And Dave Gaming now all the way back of the pack. Really unfortunate for him. He was trying to close the door. There, you know, when there is a gap, you try to go for it. Not sure if that gap existed in this dimension though, but it was enough for GamerMuscle to try. Now he's going side by side with rAiii. rAiii has to step back a bit in front of the Michael Schumacher S, which is just floating right, left, right. You want to cut the curbs a bit, but you don't want to hang the inside tire over the red white curb there, because then sometimes it basically clips and then you're gone due to the edge there. In real life, it really hurts in the car, even just driving over it. You will feel and hear that. While Emily Jones is already on third, hunting down Jimmy Broadbent. So everything that Team Red has to offer right now is Emily Jones, and she wants to get the maximum amount of points for her team. Now that Team Green is leading by just 2 points, braking a lot stronger than Jimmy Broadbent here. Once again, the exit wasn't good though, because Jimmy got out massively quicker. Look at that. There's a huge gap already, but they will be able to slipstream. Not as heavily as on the F1 cars though with these GT3s. And the straight here at Nürburgring isn't super long, because you still want to be on the outside while braking. Otherwise, it's really hard to cover up a crossing when the other driver is coming back from the outside. Jimmy's still looking solid, though. GamerMuscle in fourth right now, holding on to it with his Huracan GT3, doing a good job there, throwing the midship around. Let's see how he does. While we're on Jardier, Jaroslav Honzik right now leading. Everyone in the chat says, oh, he will got this. This is easy. Jardier will bring us 10 points. And right now, it looks really good for him here in his Audi R8 all on his own. Look, he got beautiful headlights on already, hoping for some typical Nürburgring photographers to be around, to have something to hang in his room for right after, basically. Now going down to Dunlop Corner, and there's already no one around. Jimmy Broadbent is 4 seconds off nearly. That is crazy. With just one lap we had here at the Nürburgring GP. Really impressive performance by Jardier, while rAiii tries to get back to GamerMuscle. GamerMuscle is the Lamborghini GT3 right in front of him. Won't be easy. They still have roughly under 5 minutes to go. Want to be quick here. You really have to carry momentum, but you can lose the car so easily. You saw that there. His steering wheel, left, right, trying to adjust. That was the rear coming a bit slidey, basically. And if you have the engine in the rear, it's great because it gives you a lot of traction due to the weight and how it's sitting in the car. But as soon as that weight on the rear actually starts moving, it's not that great anymore. And that's basically what he tried to balance out here through Michael Schumacher. As back to GamerMuscle, really concentrated face here with this beautiful, I don't know, fish Christmas tree in the background. Not even sure how to name that. But whatever it is, it seems to help him to focus and concentrate. And came back onto Emily Jones now. The race between the Lamborghini Huracans. Emily now a lot closer to Jimmy Broadbent again, but also GamerMuscle a lot better in this lap. Really getting grip of how to do things in ACC. Into turn 1 now, heartbreaking. Stay to the outside and then drop it into the dip again. Let's see. Emily looking solid. If you look at Jimmy Broadbent's line right now, it seems to be a bit more on the safe side. You saw him tapping the brakes there, coming into Mercedes Arena. You have to be aware of that because it can unsettle the car, but since it's front engine, he can do that at least a bit. But as soon as it's over a specific percentage, it's just too much of the weight onto the front. So you really have to be sensible if you want to brake in between corners, or not in between corners, but in corners right on the apex. So is Emily Jones quick enough here to bring at least 8 points to Team Red and not let them run away with a 1 and 2 at the Nürburgring GP? Down to Dunlop Corner once again. It is a stretch here. You have to make sure that you get slipstream and then brake the car, making sure that you hang it to the inside like Emily did here. Jimmy a bit slower, so it might give a chance here. But as soon as, that's the big thing here, as soon as Emily tries to attack Jimmy Broadbent, it might open the door for GamerMuscle. He just has to stay close to them, not getting involved in this fight yet, but just making sure that he's there. Because once you launch an attack, it costs you a bit of time. I think there was a small nudge here from Emily onto Jimmy Broadbent, letting him know, I'm here and I want to take your position. Let's see, up to Vidal chicane. That's what's coming up next. So it's a slight right kink now, then keeping it to the right, unless you want to cover up the inside. Let's see, Jimmy Broadbent not yet on the defensive line, but Emily also not in a position to really attack into this crucial corner. Jimmy Broadbent missing that corner. That is the chance for Emily Jones. Is she actually through? No, side by side through the last corner around Turin Total right here on start-finish straight, and Emily Jones seems to take it. Oh, another catch off the front fender here. Oh dear, Emily Jones, but she made it. Look at her smiling into the camera. I was like, yep, I just bumped into Jimmy Broadbent. And then I made it through. But talking about making it through, that might be GamerMuscle now getting involved here. That is the fight between the Lamborghinis of both teams. And now Emily Jones is right between GamerMuscle and Jimmy Broadbent. She got pushed around, slipping away. And that's basically it. The worst that could happen to Team Red here. She is losing even more positions. That got rAiii through, who now is in 3rd position. But with Emily being gone, there's definitely no one that could either challenge Jardier right now or even GamerMuscle, because rAiii was able to hold on to GamerMuscle at least a bit, but I think his pace is not quick enough now to actually pass it. Jimmy Broadbent right behind them. Let's see. I wonder if that was a bit of a tactic there. They got very close. And then a bit of Punterino, basically, trying to make way there and getting rid of Emily Jones. They wanted to introduce her to the barrier anyway. That's what they said in one of the trash talk sessions before the races, and now they did. rAiii still flashing. Not quite sure if he's trying that out for TÜV, so they know that everything is working and he gets another 2 years of driving. But now he's really close to GamerMuscle. GamerMuscle with a really, really bad exit left and right, but he's covering up the inside, both overshooting the corner. That gets Jimmy Broadbent involved once again. He might be the lucky one here. Tries to go around the outside. rAiii pushing a bit. Jimmy holding onto it. Look at that. Beautifully done. Not throwing the car away, not overshooting the corner. And all of a sudden, the man himself is back in front of both. But there's a touch and that sends rAiii into spinning. And unfortunately, that's another Team Red car gone. And with this, a full Team Green podium is what we're looking at right now. Jardier, Jimmy Broadbent, and GamerMuscle. Wow, what a fight. I mean, Jimmy was able to hold on to this car right at the edge of the track, of the curb, right in front of the grass, not touching the grass at all. That was really well done there, knowing exactly how much grip he has on the car left. And it was even rewarded with another position. Not quite sure about the punting here and there, but still, great showcase. And now we're on board with Jimmy Broadbent through Mercedes Arena. That's, by the way, the next corner, the left-hander, is where I threw the car away the very first time in the 6-hour race in real life. I was embarrassed. That was the first time that spectators were allowed again at the Nürburgring 4 race. And I came out of pits, new tires in the rear, and then I lost it on a braking. Luckily, nothing happened, just spun around and back into the race, just like Emily does here, but it's not really catching up. And now that, since this is the last lap, there's no chance for Team Red to have a big comeback on the Nürburgring GP. That means their last chance will be Silverstone, the 2011 layout, because on Nürburgring, they absolutely lost it to Team Green here. Jaroslav Honzik, he will take it home easily. I hope I'm not jinxing that now. With Jim Broadbent in second and GamerMuscle in third. I also heard that we're not traveling to Silverstone. Probably due to travel ban, who knows, but we're not going there. That means Green will actually take the win right here, because I don't see any chance, even with my mathematical skills being so bad, that Red will come out on top of this one. A full podium for Team Green at the Nürburgring GP in ACC. Jardier proving the Twitch chat right that he can be in full control of an ACC race. He did so right from the get-go. There was never a chance for anyone to challenge the man that is Jardier. He's normally smiling a lot, always looking like he's not a threat to anyone, but he's a real threat in ACC, and that's what we just saw, because I think that was the win for Yamato's team. Team Green here, he will be very happy about that one, Frost, right?
We shall see. There needs to be some calculation with the points, but first things first, Jardier just slamming ACC, and not the only thing that was getting slammed. There was some trash talk about some illegal contact that was happening earlier on. Green team was throwing elbows that race.
We just knew, like, if like the red cards and the yellow cards started flying now, that this is the last leg of the tournament, so it doesn't matter if people get disqualified. So we just went for the legs.
I gotta say, I'm glad that I'm not the only one on Team Red that like effed up. I mean, I feel so bad because Emily carried this whole day for Team Red, and I know what happened. She just tried to go for it because she could see the finish line and she could see the victory by taking over Jimmy.
I told you she's an aggressive driver.
Yeah, and I respect it. I respect trying, and I respect trying to overtake and going for the whole thing. I respect it.
Yeah, that was what was great about that is we didn't just get one intense kind of overtaken clash. We got two of them. I thought as soon as Emily was pushed off, I was like,
and then rAii's like, hello.
I know. And then Red's like, round two, let's go.
Round two, let's go. But I like it because both of them were like, all right, we need to make something out of this situation. Our captain is absolute trash. He's losing us all these challenges. We need to make something happen. And they went for it, true. But indeed, Green, in round two, they were like, oh, that wasn't like savory. They pushed us off the track, and now all they did was push Red off the track.
You're showing your true colors, guys.
Yeah.
What's up?
It's Green.
Money Green. Money talks. Green talks.
Yeah. Oh, but such an exciting game, this one, too. I mean, all of them, honestly.
I got to be screaming this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
On his feet.
We do have an interview ready. So, Tom, if you can hear me, count, knock, say hello.
Oh, Emily.
Corsa Competizione, but in my eyes, the definite true champ who was taken out of the race, Emily Jones. Talk to me, what happened in that race?
There was some shenanigans happening. Jardier is super fast at ACC. He's like he's a legit ACC driver, and I knew I had to get to the front really quickly if I wanted to fight him. So I was fairly aggressive at the start, and I was talking with my teammates, and I was like, "You guys need to sort of get out of the way so I can go to the front." And then I started fighting GamerMuscle, and then he sort of killed me, but. These things happen, I guess.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they do happen because we watched it happen. I have to say, you've been phenomenal all day. Have you enjoyed taking part in Clash of Racers too?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Very early morning, but it's been really good, and it's nice to like race against other content creators from like different disciplines. Often we don't, race with each other very often, so it's fun.
Yeah, and I know that your schedule, I don't want to take up too much of your time. However, producer in my ear are like, we have to keep Emily as long as possible. I'm going to deny them from doing that. You get 1 hour sleep before your normal day takes over. But in terms of, you're talking about those content creators out there, what plans have you got for the rest of the year?
So I'm racing in the FIA Gran Turismo World Finals, so the World Championships next week. In Manufacturer Series for Audi, so please support me in that. And otherwise, I'm just going to create some content. I'm done with serious racing for the year, apart from World Finals. So chill one.
Well, listen, Emily Jones, thank you so much for taking part in Clash of Racers. I know everyone on the Twitch has enjoyed your racing style today. Best of luck with the remainder of the year, and so much fun to watch you. So all the best. I will pass it over now to Frostgrin to decide who has won Clash of Racers 2.
Get it, Emily. That is some incredible racing today. I've been super impressed, and good luck in Gran Turismo there.
And at work in an hour.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, just the casual PS5 just sitting to the side, just a hard flex.
What a baller. Oh, actually, wow. I'm an Emily fan.
True.
Me too.
Okay, so now I have to say this. There was a miscalculation with the points. We are now trying to rectify the point. So while it may seem that Yamato had won, we do need to double check it.
We don't know.
Because actually, Trackmania should have gone to Sjokz, which Emily Jones actually smashed. So that's where the point miscalculation is coming in. We are getting the correct ones. And while we're waiting for that correct score, this is like literally stop the count.
These things happen. Stop the count. Exactly. Get on Twitter, Team Green. Stop the count.
Oh, no, it's ready. What's the damage? Show me the money.
This is the before this one, I think.
Oh my God.
But this is before this one. This is before this one.
Before, yeah?
Well.
Yes.
Yamato.
No,
it's
ACC
not. Point.
No, it's the correct. Oh, well, it doesn't sound the ACC, but it is the corrected score for Trackmania.
Yeah, so it's before ACC.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So there is a chance.
The good news is, Yamato, is that your team did exceptionally well in ACC.
Extremely good.
All planned.
So let's now see the updated version of ACC added. Oof. Oh my God.
Wait, but I feel so bad.
It's going to come down to the awards.
Oh yeah, the awards, true.
The awards.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Holy.
So right now, Sjokz sitting with the 84-81 victory right there.
And again, I just kept throwing the challenges so that it would be close.
Yeah,
otherwise, this would be in the bag for Team Red. Gotta give. I mean, I'm Clash of Racers. I'm trying to make it as exciting as possible. So I just threw the Mario Kart game. You saw it. I won easily. I chugged that smoothie easily
with her hair.
My hair. It's all over.
Okay.
I left it.
Now, we do have 3 awards to give out, and each of the awards gives your team 5 points. So there's still hope for Yamato if his team takes home some of these awards. So first and foremost, here we go. Best crash. Let's reveal it. It's got to be the Porsche one. It's Cyanide. That's 5 points to Sjokz already. She's starting to pull it. That means that you need the last 2. Let's go ahead and look at the crash.
Yes, Cyanide, I'm so happy. I know you were being down on yourself, that you were not good, and you're pushing yourself in last place. But I guess he wins this because he's the one that actually gets the advantage off this crash.
We crashed. Green crashed.
I love it.
Yo!
Yeah, but he got off the line first.
Thank you for your contribution, Cyanide.
We lost our wing or the fin.
In the end, though, it was Cyanide. Okay, so next one is most positions won.
It has to be Maxime, no? Emily Jones! Yes, Emily.
Let's go ahead and look at the highlight. So, first and foremost, Emily was on absolute fire today. She showed up in iRacing. She was an absolute monster in Trackmania. And then ACC, she saw her window for a split second. It looked like she was going to go the distance. And then Green Team just ruined her day, but they couldn't ruin her in the scoreboard standings today. That is now another 5 points for Sjokz and Yamato. Even before we see MVP, you're donezo.
It's Emily Jones is going to be the MVP.
Yeah.
Let's reveal our MVP.
Emily! Oh my gosh, Emily absolutely smashed it today.
If you guys would like to follow Emily, you can find her on Emery over at Instagram. Huge Instagram following, as well as on Twitter. She is one of the world's fastest women racers, and she is representing Down Under at a ridiculous hour. She did all of this on like 3 hours of sleep.
Crazy. And she's heading to work like I hope she catches the end of this so she sees, how much she actually knocked it out of the park today.
It's great because she's a huge League of Legends fan, so
great.
We are huge Emily Jones fans.
We are huge Emily Jones fans. She also saved, I want to say me, but also a couple of other people on Team Red who didn't have the best day. Oh man, I feel so bad.
She annihilated me.
Here we go, though. The final score, 99-81, which now means that Sjokz is our champion. Sjokz, you may approach the Tag Heuer trophy lift. Bam, ba, ba, ba.
Listen, European fans all over. A League of Legends person has not gone to lift a international trophy.
Wait, don't touch it yet, Sjokz.
Oh, I can't.
Yamato, last words?
Well done, Sjokz. You deserve it. You did so well in the challenges. Fantastic.
With that backhanded compliment, though.
Sjokz, you may touch the trophy. Evia, Sjokz, the Pontier!
Yay! This is, let's be clear, I did nothing. It was all my racers on Team Red. So thank you, Dave Gaming, rAiii, Emily. Cyanide, best crash. Really pulled it out there for the team. Everyone, thank you so much. I swear, if you elect me to be your next captain, I will not mess up the challenges. I will train that Mario Kart game. I will train the IRL Rocket League. It's gonna be great. And of course, my competitor Yamato, who fought valiantly and maybe should have taken this home, but it does not.
And with that, we are done with Clash of Racers 2. Everyone smile and wave and let's go home.